Okie dokie, okie day. Hello, welcome to the Dorks in Danger, the group of my friends and I play Dungeons and Dragons. Very well, very fun. It's been a little bit since we were together. And we're just gonna go straight into Recap Town. And, anyway.
I don't have Recap Town on my map, should I?
No, I'm gonna take you there within the mind's eye.
Right.
So, previously, your group had begun its somewhat solemn return from a recent upset in your mission to retrieve Gundren, where... Why are you laughing?
Because that was a massive understatement.
Where, unfortunately, he had perished at the hands of the bugbear warlord that you had met with, or that you had sought to defeat. Carrying the dwarf's body away from the new dragon-occupied fortress, you met up with the druid Rhos, who had circled back after seeing the flying lizard return. You took a bit of rest to recenter yourselves before you began the trek back to Phandalin, which took you into the late night, exhausting several of your party members. As you returned, you discovered that the white dragon that had attacked you out in the forest must have taken a pass at the town, as massive spikes of ice were seen embedded into several of the buildings, and even so late in the evening, there was a lot of activity trying to fix things up. You were met by Sildar and hurried off to the inn to see Sister Gariel, who was acting as a triage medic and using the inn to help the wounded. Sympathizing with your distress, she offered a possible option as far as reviving Gundren, but would need to hand you off to a different Harper who happened to also be in town. After taking a hard-earned night of rest, your party... Oh, sorry, I'm reading so badly. After taking a hard-earned night of rest, you set out on the next day in search of this hideout that you were told about by the other Harper, who happened to be Izithar, on horseback. Your journey was uneventful as you eventually arrived at a odd little abandoned village in the middle of the countryside at the base of the mountains. You found your way down into a secret passage and descended deep into a mountain down a billion stairs, where you discovered a root-bound section of a temple suspended in a massive chamber. You participated in a ritual to provide certain types of magic to the roots of the tree, and in turn were rewarded with a glowing crystal and a promise of hope. So as you stand in this supposed holy space, you all see Izithar watching from near the entrance, and the hum that had been building during the ritual finally dies back down to silence. What would you like to do?
Who has the crystal?
You did. You put it in your bag.
Ah, okay. Well, so let's put this back. Niah says to the party.
You did. You kind of cut out there.
Yeah, you
Oh, sorry.
Yeah,
Okay.
sorry.
Sorry. Oh, okay. Yeah, so like...
Yeah, like that. You cut out.
So like... Uh-oh.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Oh no.
no.
Right at the
ritual-
beginning?
The ritual took Niah's voice.
This is the ritual to lead you on!
Wow, I didn't know.
Wow.
What the fuck?
Amazing. It wouldn't be this group if
I
it
caught
wasn't
that,
scuffed
Jrain.
for some
I saw-
reason.
I see you.
You know,
I see you,
I
Jrain.
kind of like her better this way.
Oh,
Savage.
Oh yeah, Niah just glares at you.
Anyway, Niah.
I guess we take this back to Gundren?
I mean, of course, that's what we came here for. Let's go.
Oh God, I better come through that time.
Yeah.
Is there really a good chance this will work?
We won't know until we try.
The amethyst bard who had been sort of leaned up against what would be the entrance doorway to this chapel sort of stands back up as your group approaches, and he looks you all over very studiously, seriously, and just nods a little bit. Well, whatever that is, hopefully it does what you needed to.
you ever used this temple before, Izithar?
No, but it is only supposed to work once, maybe twice a year.
Oh.
I believe
Oh.
it gets its power from the equinoxes throughout the year, so... What you're holding there is, kind of valuable, let's just say.
Well, I don't think anyone's planning to die anytime soon.
Well, I
So-
don't think most people plan to die. They just kind of do.
Oof.
That kind of went over your head, didn't it?
It is impressive. He is very tall.
We didn't have to take it so literally. I mean, of course not.
Well, look, I'm just... Whatever, there's a lot on my mind.
Wow.
I just want you to understand the value of what you have, that's all.
No, we understand. Trust me.
Alright, well...
It's crazy that the timing worked out.
Well, I don't think this place has been used in a while. Judging by the fact that the door was still locked, and... that it worked. Who...
Did you think it wouldn't?
Well, I didn't know if it would. Never seen it before, so how can I know? I'm just a traveler. I'm not a cleric or scholar or anything. And he sort of looks between each of you, not necessarily blocking the path out of the temple, though his large form does kind of serve to do that. At the front edge of this walkway, that, like, 2-tile wide walkway that you had to cross this infinite drop expanse to get out here. He says, "So who is this Gundren to all of you? Why are you so emphatic about getting him back?"
So Nidus looks him right dead in the eye. A very dear friend, one I have.
Gundren treated me like a friend, even though I was a stranger to him. And he really gave me a chance to prove myself to him by working for him. He's a really trusting guy, and we owe everything to him.
I see. And why are you all out here in the first place? Why were you looking for him?
He went missing.
A lot of people go missing every day, and a group of adventurers don't just show up out of nowhere to look for him.
Because we were supposed to meet him.
For work?
Not entirely sure, but I believe so.
Work and information that not a whole lot of people are privy to.
There's a lot of mystery surrounding it. We don't really quite know, like, what he wanted or if he found something.
Thava just kind of stares at Bud and Synas after they start, like, revealing more information.
I wasn't revealing more information. I was literally saying he's got information. That's it. That's vague enough, right?
Look, he taught Bud how to play Three Blind Mice. So that's
Best
like
friends.
you are my
Okay.
homie now.
That's a character origin point.
Yeah.
Ah, yes, the multi-class Bard Ranger.
Yep.
Ranger, if you will.
Branger. He just crosses his arms a little bit and nods, clearly thinking about something.
With all due respect, we should probably be getting back as soon as possible.
Yeah, you're right. We can talk more on the way.
Is there anything else like around this chamber?
You can make a perception check. Seems fairly bare, other than what appears like an old, torn up chapel.
I got a 23.
Wow.
Oh shit! Right, this game uses dice.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm
sure
looking.
do.
My eyes are perceiving.
They
No,
are
it's missing
perceiving.
something.
I'm looking with my special eyes.
Your brand.
My brand. Mainly what you notice are the effigies of an individual in armor, usually depicted against the sun in the background. Different positions, poses, him offering help to an individual on their knees, him guiding the light across a landscape.
We learned about him last time. What was his name?
Lathander.
Thunder.
Yeah, that's right.
And you notice that where you had performed that ritual, there is still that bright morning sun shining on just that one spot, never ceasing. And the roots that have been slowly pulsing with this white energy from above and down below into this place have dimmed tremendously, so the overall light in the area has reduced by quite a lot. But you don't notice anything beyond that.
Okay. Is this where we say, guess I better get going?
And you see Izithar is already heading back across the walkway to the very long staircase that you came down.
I will follow then.
Your party...
Bud looks notably like he looks like he's had a weight lifted off his shoulders. Like he's been pretty quiet and like almost like directionless up to this point. But like kind of seeing that, you know, there's hope that Gundren can come back is like big relief for him. Little spring in his step, maybe.
And your party begins to return up the very long staircase.
Oh god.
Just unending steps up and down after you have lost sight of the odd rooted chapel behind you. And it seems to stretch. Yeah. All the
Roll
sounds
for
are
athletics.
everything is just the sounds of clicking of claws, mainly clicking of claws and clopping of hooves along the way up through the staircase. And it takes you the better part of nearly an hour before you guys...
Oh yeah, no one wears shoes.
Yeah, none of you wear shoes.
Wait.
Yeah, how's Izzy looking?
He's getting a bit tired by the time the top of the stairs come. And he's trying to not show it very clearly, but he's not that good at that bit. But eventually you do break back into the blacksmith area. Everything just as you left it. And after the rest of your party leaves, the last person stepping out hears a shifting of stone behind them, and the bricks that had folded away to form this passageway for you to enter once again rumble their way closed and click back into place to be a smooth brick wall once more. Izithar kind of sits against the edge of the forge, breathing a little bit heavily.
You know,
You okay,
Poor
Izzy?
guy.
I just hate stairs. It's fine. I'm fine. I hate stairs. They're terrible. That's all. That's a lot of stairs. I don't like that.
I figured a traveling bard would, travel a bit more.
I do. It's just stairs. And also getting hit in the chest with a brick to start it all off wasn't fun either.
Oh yeah, that did happen, didn't it?
Yeah.
You took it like a champ.
Thanks. As you guys head back outside, Unless there's anything else you'd like to do in this building. Your horses are still tied up not too far away. And it is pretty close to mid-afternoon, I would say. Still a good bit of daylight for you guys to start heading back.
Great. Let's do it.
As you all saddle up again. Bud, if you could make an animal handling check for me.
Yeah.
Right.
As the moment you hop on Rival, very
The hell?
immediately upset.
The hell horse.
Well, I mean, I wouldn't like. I think Bub would hop right on him. He'd probably be like, give him some pets to like butter him up before I hop on.
Mm-hmm.
That's a good pun. That's a good pun.
Butter him up.
Got him.
Yeah, got it.
Okay, where's my animal handling? All right, please, Dad. 14.
14. You talk to the horse a little bit, pat him on the neck, give him a few assurances before you hop up into the saddle. And even as such, he immediately tries to buck you forward and off. You cling on to him just barely, using the horse's neck for stability. And he seems to settle down a moment or so later, reluctantly, once again allowing you to use him as a mount.
Once again, spamming the like link pat
Yeah.
horse mechanic until the hearts come up.
Yep. And you set off once again, your troop sort of tracing back the route you had taken to get here, heading back along the base of the mountains, of the Sword Mountains here. And coming back once again to that little startup of a frontier town that you had seen, just as about, 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock, the sun starting to set, as it is in the fall months, the sun does set nearish 6 to 7 o'clock here. You end up making it about to the trail and a little bit up it before you end up having to make camp once again. Is there anything you guys would like to do this evening while you're traveling or while you're camping?
Yeah, you snickered. Is that?
No.
Yeah, what's going on?
No.
No.
No, I just had
Rika's
some thoughts.
just gonna. Oh,
thoughts
go
for
ahead.
later.
Sorry.
Had some thoughts for later.
Gotcha.
What are you gonna do, Reyka?
Oh, I was just gonna, give Beans some good brushes and pull out some especially sweet grass I had found earlier from my pocket and feed it to him.
And the horse very much happily takes it and nuzzles into you and is generally very friendly with you. Bean has been a very good horse for you the last couple days. And if you guys would like, you can do watches throughout the night. Unless there's anything else you guys would like to do, go ahead and have Group 1 roll your perception checks for the evening.
It was Rinn and I, right? For group 1?
Yes.
Are we?
Yep.
You are now.
You are
Okay.
now.
Besties.
Well, I forget which. Yeah, what that was. We were first watch.
Sure. Why not?
It was usually
I
you
just remember
two,
being
and
stuck
then
with Thava.
Synas and Thava in the middle of the night, and then Reyka and Bud in the morning.
Right. Okay.
You got mom and dad in the middle of the night.
Yeah.
Cool. 10.
Cool.
Oh
Nailed
no,
it.
you do that with advantage because I'm not going to roll. I'm going to help you.
All right, you're gonna cut my ears.
That's right. Which
Yeah.
seems a little like not as helpful now that I know that they're fucking massive.
Yeah. So So the advantage I got a 4. So
Okay, well, let's see
Or
a 10.
Cup the ears, not cover them.
yes. So yes, 10 is my perception.
On a 10, seems pretty calm throughout the night. You see several groups of travelers, potentially merchants, making their way along the high road to the north in the middle of the night, which you wonder if that's the best sort of option, really, out here, traveling in near pitch darkness with a caravan. But overall, nothing seems to happen as the first couple hours of your night go by. Synas and Thava, if you'd like to roll some perception checks for the evening.
I'll give Synas advantage, I think,
I
was
would
the way
love
we
to
do.
roll. Oh, thank
So,
God you gave me advantage.
Yeah, I think you get advantage, yeah.
Okay.
Oh, that's so much better. 23.
23.
The first was 7.
Wow.
Ooh.
I rolled a natural 1.
In the middle of the night here, Synas, you find a nice little area to set up and just sort of watch. And my tablet immediately crashes and makes it impossible for me to read what I was trying to do. Okay.
Oh
course,
no, the
of
divine
course.
words.
What is happening? Why does technology hate me today?
Weird, why'd the stars go up? Huh.
Huh. That's real weird.
Oh God, the boom mic's coming down. Oh shit.
Everything, reality is collapsing into meta reality. We're just gonna close that and restart it. You notice some individuals coming up the road, and you guys have made your camp with your horses tied up, some ways off the main road. And Synas, you notice a few individuals who seem to be traveling along the road toward the north. They seem to be moving fairly slowly and just keeping an eye out on things. They're dressed in some chainmail with a couple halberds among them, but nothing too impressive. They don't seem to bother your party. They just cruise up to a point a few hundred feet past where your group is and then turn around and start walking their way back again.
Night patrol. I assume.
Seems like a safe assumption, you think.
Mm-hmm.
But other than that, nothing eventful.
So, while their watch is happening,
Mm-hmm.
Oh, what the fuck are you doing?
Oh God.
Okay. Yeah, what's up?
so Niah, curled under the Veteral,
Mhm.
is repeatedly casting Minor Illusion
Okay.
to make a very loud cricket chirp in the middle of the camp.
Okay.
And just all throughout the night.
Oh, wonderful, beautiful ASMR.
Having it wander around, kind of getting close to some of the people's heads, it's really loud cricket.
What the fuck? You're not gonna get any sleep then. Fuck you.
Yeah. I will
Yeah,
say...
level of exhaustion. Level of exhaustion.
I will say, depending on how late into the night
Okay.
you do plan to do it, you do need to sleep eventually.
Only for like an hour or
Yeah,
so.
okay. So,
After my watch ends.
for about the first hour or so of your guys' watch, Synas, there's just a wandering, sourcelessly loud cricket sound in your little camp circle area.
Honestly, you get used to them. Down here near the mirror, they're common. I'm gonna fucking chuck a rock at one of these. Oh my God, that one was loud.
I mean, is it gonna wake us up?
It's
Do I
gonna,
have-
Probably,
it's gonna,
it's probably,
it's gonna go off next to your ear a few times.
yeah, it's probably loud enough to disturb you from your sleep a couple times.
Before we trade off to the third watch, I'm whipping with my sling a rock into a bush.
You see, the rock vanish and clatter and smash through the brush, and a couple squirrels go scattering away from it and up a couple trees, but no crickets, no bugs,
Of course.
just a few squirrels.
It's about sending a message. I'm tired.
as you head to rest and wake up the last two of your party. Reyka and Bud, would you make some perception checks for me?
I want to say Reyka was sleeping perfectly soundly during the cricket adventure.
I suppose
Doesn't mind bugs
Bud
much.
probably was too.
The outdoorsy types, yeah, fair.
Reyka, do you want to roll and do advantage, or how do you want to do this?
I think. What do you have for perception?
I have 4.
Is it plus
Okay.
4?
Plus 4.
I have
Yes.
+6, so maybe if you want to just assist.
Yes, I will do that.
Okay, my first one was a 16. Ooh, 25.
25. Very good.
Oh wow.
Thank you for your assistance.
Hey guys, what's
You're welcome.
never mind.
Don't. I know what joke you're going to make.
Yeah, it's better. Don't worry about it.
Okay.
My lord. Jeez Louise.
25.
25.
25.
Oh my God. As the morning sun begins
You just
to
hear that in the
rise.
background.
Rinn, 25. As the morning sun begins to dawn on the next day of your journey, Reyka, you do see flying much further to your north, quite a number of miles away, what looks to be that somewhat familiar silhouette of a very large draconic creature, just lazily gliding through the low-hanging clouds.
She's gonna sketch it out on a little script.
You are very quiet.
I said she's gonna take a moment to sketch the silhouette out on like a scrap of something she's got.
I have a question.
I have an answer.
Can I have like a short conversation with Reyka?
You can always have a short conversation with your friends, I'm sure.
Cool. It does involve knowledge I've forgotten because it's been a minute.
Mm-hmm.
But
Don't rely on me.
what was that like creature in beneath the? I forget if it was like a mansion or a castle.
Mhm.
Outside the
Oh.
town. Like what did it say about Reyka? Like her past.
To Reyka, it had said, "Do you even know if your brother is still alive? Prison is not a very friendly place."
Okay. Bud's just gonna like quietly watch Reyka sketching the. You're doing a drawing, right?
yeah, just trying to sketch out what we're seeing, the silhouette we keep coming up with.
Cool. Bud's just gonna like quietly say like, "Hey Reyka, I know it's been a minute. We've been just, going all over the place. But I've been meaning to ask you, and I hope it's okay. But I remember something about your brother. Are you looking for him? Like, is he safe? Like, is that something you can talk about?"
I kind of know where he is, and I don't think he's very safe. He's been imprisoned, and I'm trying to find a way to get him back. So I hope he's okay, but I like to hold out hope that he's okay.
Is there anything that we can do to help? Like, was that something that Gundren was going to help you with, maybe?
Well, basically just trying to raise some gold so that I can buy him back from where he's captured from. So Gundren was giving me some jobs to aid me in that endeavor.
That's kind of similar to how I, met Gundren as well. My family's farm got burned down, and my parents are safe right now. They're staying with somebody else, but I need to raise money and see if we can, rebuild.
Wow.
So I know what you mean about like having, looking out for family.
Is your
And
family okay?
yeah, they're okay. They're safe at this place called Butterskull Ranch. It's up, what is it, Dre, north of the farm,
It is
roughly?
northeast.
East? Yeah. But yeah, no one was hurt or nothing when that
That's
happened.
good.
We managed to get out in time. It was a bunch of orcs that were coming down from the mountains, and they raided our property.
Oh gosh. And they burned down your whole farm?
Yeah, I think it might have something to do with that dragon we've been seeing.
So do you think the dragon's in league with the orcs?
I don't know, but whether it's in league or maybe it chased them out of there, like that dragon is serious business, and I don't know what we're gonna do about him, especially with what happened. Looking at the map because I can't remember the name of the town. Phandalin. Yeah. But hopefully, we'll make progress and figure out, what we need to do.
Yeah, hopefully. Sounds like you and I both need to raise a fair amount of gold.
Yeah. I was really, worried about, that. Not that that's more important than, Gundren dying and everything.
Right,
But-
right.
I hope that we can get him back to his old self.
Same, yeah. I must say I'm a little skeptical of this magic, but it would be awesome if we could get him back.
I didn't hear the last thing Reyka said because you got really quiet.
Oh, talking about Gundren, I was saying I was a little skeptical of the magic to bring him back, but I'm hopeful it can work out. Am I coming through on the microphone?
Yes.
Yeah, you are. You are.
Okay.
Mhm.
We're all having technical issues tonight. It's wonderful.
They're great.
Favorite. I love technology.
You do.
Is there anything else anyone would like to do on this chilly morning as the sun begins to dawn once again and your party rouses from their slumber?
Niah's getting ready to go ASAP.
Reyka's just kind of sitting there after the conversation with Bud. She's had been kind of compartmentalizing her sorrow for her brother, and now she's just kind of like sitting in it and thinking about him. Just overall looking kind of sad.
Yeah.
The Dragonborn bard begins getting his horse all set back up once again as well. And looks to all of you.
So, I'm guessing you guys want to get back as fast as possible, obviously. We could ride as fast as possible and get back within the day, easily. But, might tire the horses out a little bit.
They can rest in town.
Yeah, time is of the essence, isn't it?
Well, yeah. Gariel's magic should hold for a week, but... not really sure what else will happen. I don't think I've ever had to revive someone before myself.
Well, as long as we make it, it should be fine. Even if we tire them out, we've made it.
Yep.
Well, let's get going then. I do have a few questions I have to ask you guys once we're back, but it can wait. Don't need to.
Shit.
Well, and he looks at you like, what is that supposed to mean?
Well, always asking questions.
It's kind of our job.
Mm-hmm.
And he gets upon his horse and begins to set off ahead of everyone, leaving the rest of you to saddle up and follow after him once again. If someone could roll a d20 for me for today's journey, today's travel.
6.
6.
Who knows? That might be good.
Yeah.
The dragon attacks again.
God.
Natural 20. F you.
Natural 20. Here's a dragon. Now die. As you guys set out northward along the high road once more, the winds are rather heavy today and bring with them the salty air of the ocean as a storm front seems to be rushing in from the large ocean off to the west. It is a very cold journey, but otherwise uneventful. The wind-swept lands blow and twist and shift in response to the flowing current of air. And many of you have to bundle down in your coats and equipment a little bit more. Some of you, perhaps not wearing the most, are even more subject to the cold breeze than others might be. But you do not really encounter any creatures or individuals along the way. You do end up, once you go through about, say... Oh my goodness, I can't do math.
Wow. How do we get stuck with a dungeon master who can't do math?
Wow. First of all...
An engineer that can't do math?
Oh,
The
it's
fuck?
it's
very common. We're not the best at it sometimes. After a few hours of your day go by and you are all riding along, heading northward, Reyka and Synas both notice a caravan off to the side of the road that doesn't look like it's trapped or anything. Not like mired down in the mud, but it does have one of the wagon wheels off, and the draft horses are sort of just grazing a little bit, and there's about 7 individuals milling about, a couple waiting, and there's one individual in what looks like sort of brightly silvery armor, blonde coiffed hair, just sort of standing watching it all as you all cruise by. He glances up towards you, but doesn't seem to acknowledge you guys beyond that.
Should we help him?
What will your character do?
We all know what Bud would do.
I mean, Reyka also would feel compelled to help him.
Cool. Well, Thava has 2 hands, so she can smack both you guys in the back of the head.
Oh,
and remind you guys, we need to get back to saving our friend, okay? No, it's okay. It's whatever you guys want to do.
If you want to stop, you are able to, but it
Yeah.
might slightly delay your arrival back in town.
And we're on a time limit because of the artifact.
We are very much on a time limit.
I think Reyka, she visibly wants to stop and help, but she realizes the time constraint and just kind of like turns her head and pretends she can't see him.
Okay, wait. How far away are we from Phandalin?
You guys are 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, about 35 miles. So you could make it there by the end of the day.
And if we help the person, probably midnight?
Yeah, it might be pretty late by the time you get back.
Okay.
We could see if we can. What's wrong with the caravan, and we can send help their way from Phandalin.
I was thinking about that. Like, yeah, we can't help you, but like we will let others know that you're in need.
Sounds fair.
Here's the thing. What if it's a trap?
Oh, it could very well be a trap.
What if we rob
Bud
these
doesn't know
people?
that.
What if we rob them?
There's
In
If we don't,
anticipation of them robbing us.
Yeah, exactly. See, she knows. She's got a good head on her shoulders.
oh brother.
Thava, that's like the nicest thing you've ever said to me.
Sorry, that's completely out of character. I'm just saying.
Oh no!
Oh no!
You can't take it
Are you
back
kidding
now.
me? You think Thava's gonna recommend we randomly like mug people? On the side of the
God.
Would you guys like to stop to and see what is going on with these guys, or do you just ride on past?
We can stop shortly. Ask what's wrong.
We need to do a vote.
It's up to you guys if you want to stop.
Yeah.
So are they right across right along the road with us?
Yeah, it looks like the wheel probably started rattling and fell off, and they just kind of pulled off to the side, and someone changing out their tire on the highway kind of scenario.
Oh yeah, fair.
Oh, if that's the case, Niah's just gonna want to pass right on by. They're fine. They have a spare wheel, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Do I see them working?
Roll
with
a
the wheel?
perception check.
As we're coming by, do I see them working with the wheel?
Roll a perception check for me, because you are focused on riding at a pretty solid pace.
Fair. Yeah, I got a 6.
Looks like someone stooped over the wheel on the ground, but you don't know.
Yeah, okay. Well. If no one else is stopping to help them, Niah's not.
Oh yeah, definitely not.
I'm definitely not.
Yeah.
Nope.
Keeping an eye on them, sure.
Bud's
but-
gonna kind of like do the wordless butt, like as he like looks behind, like while they pass, and go like, oh, what? Shrug his shoulders, like, oh well.
And your party, some of you reluctantly, cruise on past. You continue throughout the day. The wind's blowing in from the west, somewhat helping you as you do ride maybe just a bit faster as you start heading east. The coolness of the wind keeping the horses cool and driving them to make it back to their home. It takes you the rest of the day, basically, to return to Phandalin. About 8 hours of riding with only brief breaks to let the horses find water and graze for a few moments. If there's anything you guys would like to converse about on your journey throughout the day, or anything you'd like to do as the day elapses, let me know. Otherwise, we will go straight to Phandalin.
Great. To Phandalin, I say.
Straight to Phandalin, she say.
Does anyone want to strike up any conversation, or is anyone going to talk about, Niah?
Oh yeah, there
There have been a lot of revelations in the last couple of
I was
days.
thinking about it.
Everyone's just
Maybe
like
we should-
thinking about it. Like, we're going to talk about the fact that Niah is not human.
I was wondering how long.
I mean, because I was like, the first day after Gundren died and stuff, we were all pretty fucking sad. It kind of felt weird to bring up, and now that we have a lot of time of just riding, I don't know, and now that it feels like we're gonna be okay, maybe it is a good time to talk about that.
It's up to you guys.
Will ride up alongside Niah,
Mhm.
glance over, and just say, I'm gonna be pretty direct here. He's lowered his voice a little bit, so Izzy maybe at the front doesn't hear. Say, I'm gonna be direct. Are you wanted in any capacity? Is that why you have the trick?
Is Niah in disguise again today?
Yes. No, the
Okay.
moment Niah could, Niah's back in disguise.
Okay.
Which would have basically been the next morning
Yes.
you guys had returned.
Okay.
Yep. By the time we woke up, Niah was human again.
Human.
Human.
Air quotes.
Come on.
Human.
So Niah just kind of a little smirk, kind of gives you a sideways glance. And says, I'm sure wanted by someone.
I think you know what I mean. If someone was in need of money and they knew where you were, are you wanted?
No.
He kind of takes a second, looking you over, and then shrugs his
wait,
bare shoulder.
Absolutely, roll an insight.
Yeah.
Okay. Because I was just gonna believe it, but sure.
Yeah, go ahead and roll a deception or
Nothing is as
persuasion,
it
Niah.
seems with Niah.
But don't say which stat you're using.
Whatever it is, 21.
Oh, nice.
I've got an insight of
Break
+4.
their will.
Oh, damn! Actually, I only got an 11. So yeah. So what you will catch on is that, probably not for money.
It's for the belt.
Actually, does anyone know what kitsines are? I'm assuming that's what Niah is.
Go ahead. Anyone who wants to can make an Arcana check. As throughout the day,
You know what?
all of some individuals in your party think of what is a Niah? Why? What is the fox thing? What does the fox say?
Got a 14
I got a
on the
3.
Arcana.
What does a 17 tell
Got
me?
it.
Okay,
Two.
17, 14, 2, 3. Okay. Rinn, any interest in thinking about the fox?
What did
I
Trixie say?
thought, and I got a 6.
Would Rinn get
So-
advantage though because Rinn's
No.
Fae?
No.
No?
Not in this case.
Okay.
We're currently walking. The only people talking is Synas and Niah, right?
Yeah, well, this is more just throughout the
Private
day,
conversation.
maybe if your character would think to be like, what was that? What is she? But Synas and Thava. Maybe Thava overhears this conversation a little bit or sees Synas talking to Niah and it strikes her to think about. Synas, you aren't totally sure what they are. You're not sure you've ever seen one. You might have heard of odd reclusive fey creatures. And certainly there are individuals who make it their life's purpose to hunt down very useful creature parts, one could say, out in the world for good or bad purposes. And that perhaps maybe a fey, fox, humanoid sort of creature might be of interest to someone who is maybe on that route, but you can't think of anyone that you've ever really met that knew about them, but Thava, very similar. Fey creatures aren't necessarily your specialty, per se,
Mm-hmm.
but perhaps at some point in your upbringing and somewhere deep in some of the locked away memories, little glimmers of myths and old legends of an ancient sort of race in the Fae that were more messengers for the gods than anything. But that's Really hit on a 14 and a 17.
Okay.
Synas will kind of look Niah over for a moment of silence before saying, well, two things. One, if I'm still with this group when it happens, please let us know if we're about to run into a problem. And secondly, when you're not being the most forward with someone, just so you know, your grin is a little lopsided. It's a little bit of a tell.
Her grin just widens further.
He kind of grins back and then, continues riding.
Anyone else? Or we will...
Anyone else gotta have go at Niah now that Niah is trapped?
Synas opens the door and everyone just slowly rides by her, grilling her.
That was the
so-
only question Synas had.
Reyka's, or not Reyka,
So,
Rinn.
actually, one last thing I do want to say is, while being hunted is true, Synas, before you walked away, you probably would have occurred. Niah was probably getting at Niah definitely has enemies that would come after her not for money.
That's kind of what I figured. Yeah, that's what the comment of like, if I'm still here, if we're about to run into a problem, please be honest. Oh God.
Definitely.
What would you like to do, Rinn?
Oh, I wanted to just ride up to whoever I was closest to.
No.
Or it could be the whole group.
You want to roll for that?
Yeah, where would you be next to?
What is...
Roll for what?
What is your guys' riding order? Because going along the Tribord Trail, it is not the widest. You can probably fit 2 horses side by side. So...
I feel like Bud would be somewhere in the back because, rival.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's been a problem the whole time.
He's
take the
He's a
lead.
problem.
So Izithar and Reyka up front, Synas and Niah somewhere, Bud toward the back, leaving Rinn
Trying his best.
and Thava.
Perfect.
Oh,
The two most
Oh,
energetic
boy.
people of the party.
yeah.
Perfect
Energetic is a-
chemistry.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
I'm gonna lean
When are
closer
you
to
two gonna start a
Niah
podcast?
and what?
When are you two gonna start a podcast?
Stop it.
Why? Why?
That would be amazing, though.
Perfect chemistry.
I'm gonna lean closer to Thava and I'm gonna say, "Psst, Thava."
She just kind of glances your direction and goes, hmm?
I knew Niah was a fox the whole time.
Oh, really?
God damn it.
I've never kept a secret that long in my life.
Foreshadowing.
Hmm. Well, good
to
job, I
self.
guess.
What'd you say?
Job.
Oh,
well,
good job.
Good job, I guess. I'll be honest. I knew she wasn't human for a while myself.
What gave it away for you?
I could tell she was Fae. I don't know. I just have a sense of things sometimes.
Oh,
Didn't know
like a-
what she was, but she was Fae. That's all I knew.
Huh.
No,
Yeah,
you are too, obviously.
I could tell when she grew the tails. We ended up falling into a trap before the big group met up, and it was one of those dispel magic traps, and yeah, it didn't go well for her and her secret.
This was under our friend's employ, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So I can't hold that over her head anymore.
I'm sure you'll find something else to hold over her head in time.
Let's I hope so.
So, how far back are you two?
We're like second from the back row, I think.
Yeah, so they're probably like a horse and a half length behind you. A good
Yeah.
10 feet away.
How quiet are you two being?
Not.
Yeah, Thava doesn't give a shit. She doesn't care.
Rinn started whispering, but it didn't stay that way.
Are we trying to keep the secret from Izithar?
He could be a fantasy cop. I don't know.
He's on the beat.
Oh, because he's a
Sweet.
bard.
Hey!
Oh!
So happy that landed with somebody.
Ugh.
If you look at Izithar, he's remained pretty focused on the road, and you don't see his hands on the reins most of the time. He seems to be jotting down something, and Reyka riding alongside him, you can see that he's pretty good at riding without controlling the reins, only needing to do so once in a while, and the rest of the time he's actually making notes in a very thick leather-bound notebook.
Oh god, he is.
But he
Reyka
doesn't.
able to sneak a peek at what he's writing?
You'd have to put your horse right up next to his to be able to see, but you
Okay,
can make a perception check.
Dude, that'd be
I don't
so
want to. I don't want to
difficult.
let on that I'm trying to drop some eaves over
Sure,
here.
okay. Make a perception check either way. It'll be just a higher DC.
Oh, okay.
Because you're trying to see scribbly notes from like 6-7 feet away.
21.
Wow. Okay.
Damn.
Wow.
So you don't pick up too much of it. You do see your guys' names pop up a couple times. Certain things get scratched out here and there. But beyond that, you maybe pick up the word revive, you pick up the word equinox. It just seems like he's been taking notes of everything that's been going on so far.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And as the day continues, you finally turn back south along the final...
Oh, do want to add,
Yeah.
while Thava and Rinn are gossiping
Yeah,
behind,
yeah.
Niah's eyes is twitching.
She's not looking back, is she?
No,
Nope.
just suffering.
Deriaz, Synas might notice.
Yeah.
He won't say anything, but he'll probably, yeah.
What's your passive insight, Synas?
Passive insight,
Mhm.
14.
Yeah, you notice, for sure. And you notice she doesn't seem very happy about the loudness of the talking, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
It's okay, it's just us.
Yeah,
And Izzy.
just us and a cop. It's fine.
What do you mean?
Yes,
He's a,
cop.
what do you mean? How is he a cop?
As you
He's got a
guys
notebook.
His
As you
Harpers are
guys
not cops.
turn southward once again to head back toward Phandalin, you do notice Reyka as well. The dragon that you saw earlier in the morning seems to have vanished once again. Doesn't seem to be bothering you guys. It might be off somewhere else. It's about 4 or 5 in the afternoon, 6 in the afternoon / evening. The sun beginning to set once again as you all arrive back to the town and head for the stables to immediately return the horses, presumably. The half-orc woman comes out to greet all of you, looking very happy and helping you guys off of horses if you need it, and helping to immediately take their barding and bridle and tackle off, and everything. Start getting the horses back into the stables one after the other. And she holds Rival by the face, basically, as she walks that horse back to his specific stable back in the back of the main building. And she addresses all of you guys after, and as she's doing this, and goes, "Oh, well, you brought all my boys back. That's wonderful. I was kind of getting worried after you guys were gone for more than a day or two. They were good for you, weren't they?" And she says that looking straight at the large black horse that Bud had been riding. He didn't throw you off too many times?
Yeah, I got thrown off once, but I held on the other 2 times.
And that's to be expected. Pretty impressive, though.
He's a tough nut to crack, but I think he'll come around with enough care someday.
You're telling me. It's been 3 years.
Just keep at it.
And she sets about brushing off the horses, and once again, the town is still rather a bustle. There are still some large spikes of ice that haven't melted that are being chipped away. Even as the evening comes up, there are individuals with lanterns up on top of the roof of the general store where one of the largest spikes still is, still working away. It's much smaller, but it seems rather resilient. What would you guys like to do? Head straight to the inn?
That's where Niah's going. Just directly from the inn.
Yep.
Drinky time.
Revivey dwarfy time.
Drinky time.
What time is it right now?
Have some alive juice.
It's about 6 in the evening.
Is it
Reyka's
not going to
probably
harass
gonna-
us? Sorry.
I was just gonna say Reyka's probably just gonna try to find some light meal and then go to sleep early.
As you guys begin to head toward the tavern, Izithar, following along with you, sort of addresses you guys, kind of glancing around the place a little. When you guys are done with what you need to do, I want to speak with some of you. Please. I just have a few questions and I have to make sure of things, but tend to your friend, and then we can talk. Okay?
Be sure of what?
Niah just nods her head and proceeds to Jrain, straight to Gundren.
You
Like
gonna take care of the Gundren thing tonight?
Never broke stride.
He just has to do with why I'm here in the first place. That's all. But again, go see to your friend and then come find me. Or I'll find you, one of the two.
Thava kind of pauses a moment. She just goes, "Didn't you come here with the monster hunter?"
Well, yes.
And she doesn't say anything else, and then continues on.
He just gives you a bit of a grin, though not as large of a grin as he's been giving in the last few times you've talked to him. And he lets your party go, watching you all quietly from the northern part of the square here. Let's switch
Thanks
back over
for coming
to...
with us, Izzy. He comes up and gives him a hug, whether he asked for it or not.
Oh, that's cute.
He kind of grunts, and that serious demeanor drops just a little bit as he puts a hand on your back and then pushes you off towards the inn. He's like,
Quit being zappy, go fix your friend.
We'll talk later. And he's like waving his hand, like in an exaggerated way, and then he like runs off.
Out of character, apologies if I forgot this, but what did we do with Gundren's body? Is that here at the tavern?
Yeah, we left it here.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
His body was magically preserved, and then
the cleric
Okay.
that had been in town had basically said she would take care of his body while you were all away.
Okay, and we're planning on. Okay, I redact going to sleep then. Just have to go somewhere else for him.
Nope. Last you saw him, he was on a table in the inn.
Okay.
oh, I thought he was in a room.
That was where she said she was going to move him next.
Okay, well, did Niah know which room that was?
Nope.
Okay, Niah immediately is looking for the cleric.
As you burst in through the tavern door, it is mostly back to normal. There's individuals sitting and drinking and having meals, especially as it is getting to be the dinner time. And Toblin notices you enter and waves at you. It's like, oh, hey, guys are back. Hey, you look determined. Can I help you?
Very much so.
You're looking for the cleric, right?
Yes.
Okay, yeah, she's upstairs. I think she's using what's the night guy using his room. It's in the northeast of the tavern.
Niah is already halfway up the stairs.
No, okay. Right. And as the rest of your group begins to file in, he directs the rest of your party up there as well. You see, coming up the, not quite spiral stairs, but the 180 stairs that head upstairs. Too many stairs.
Wow, it's a lot of stairs.
You head towards one of the two large rooms on the northern side of the building, and you see the cleric with her hood down, still adorned in her robes, though looking rather tired, opens her eyes and looks up at you and goes, "Oh, good, you're back. I take it went well then."
Yes. Where's his body?
Right, sorry. And she stands up and rubs her eyes tiredly and opens the large door. And laying in the bed, though unnecessarily, clearly tucked in as if sleeping, there lies Gundren, still very much not moving, but she gestures a little bit and waits for the rest of your group to come in before she closes the door, allowing anyone to come in that wants to.
Mm-hmm.
And she looks at Niah and the rest of you, says, "So,
Yeah.
what did you
So Niah-
find?"
Niah doesn't answer it at all. Niah immediately walks over to Gundren's body and withdraws the crystal. Or fiddles in her bags for the crystal.
It's one of those. Right. Well then, this will be slightly different from normal resurrection ritual then. Okay. And she comes up next to you and pulls the covers back on the bed, revealing the body. And she clearly has spent quite a bit of time dressing the wounds on his form, as perhaps pointless as it may be to do so, but she seems to have cleaned up his corpse quite nicely overall. And she nods a little bit and goes, "Well, just set it on his chest there, and then we will pray and hope for a miracle."
All right, Niah just sets it down right in his chest.
And you see she folds her hands together and closes her eyes. She starts muttering under her breath, "Light of Lathander, the great morning father, the morning lord," and just starts going into a long muttered prayer. And you see this crystal sort of glow a bit brighter, and the glowing white energy within it begins to suffuse from it in almost a sort of falling little bits of glittery dust as the crystal itself goes from a solid to a sand and starts to disintegrate onto and vanishing into Gundren's body. A white light fills the room, and a breeze seems to pick up from nowhere at all, swirling around the room and disrupting everyone's hair. And the whispering and muttering of Gariel's prayer seems to carry just a bit louder. And though it is the evening and the sun is setting, the window that light would be able to pass through to reach Gundren seems to shine as if it's morning, though on the wrong side of the building. And illuminating the body for several moments, the warmth of the sun filling the room, the crystal fully vanishes, leaving nothing but a gentle white splotch in the shape of the bottom of the crystal on Gundren's chest. And you all watch as the rent cut in the dwarf's torso seems to stitch itself together, and all of the minor cuts and abrasions vanish rapidly as more than a minute goes by of this swirling, and the wind eventually just suddenly dies down, leaving your entire party in silence for but a few moments. And you all watch as Gundren's chest begins to rise and fall as he takes a few breaths. He doesn't seem to wake up, and Gariel lets out a long-held sigh, her knuckles white from squeezing her hands together. Oh, he's alive. It worked.
Reyka just looks flabbergasted. She didn't really think this was going to actually work. She says, is he going to wake up, or is he going to sleep for a while?
Well, usually when this sort of magic is used, the individual returns very exhausted. He will need several days to recover. But he is alive. I will tend to him, and the innkeeper's wife can help, and of course you all can stay by his side if you like, or whatnot. I know you are the only friends we know of in the area for him. If you'd like, I can step out of the room.
Yeah, Niah says nothing. Ever since the whole thing started, Niah has just been staying there, arms crossed, tightly grasping her arms. But as Gundren starts to breathe again, her grip, the death-like grip on her arm, slowly relaxes.
Thava actually steps up beside Niah, and kind of rests a hand on her shoulder.
Oh, damn, did I cut out halfway through what I was saying?
I don't know, did you?
I don't think so.
Okay.
Yeah,
Didn't sound
I don't
like
think so either.
Okay.
You can rest easy now. We did it. He's alive.
The stupid fool got himself killed again.
Well,
Okay.
I mean,
Wait,
Wait, again? What do you mean by again? I was gonna say, like, what?
Oh, Niah is just kind of fucking pissed.
Oh.
And
Well, you heard. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
reading the room,
Okay.
Gariel sort of nods her head a little bit and quietly excuses herself to leave the room and shuts the door as quietly as possible behind her, leaving you all with...
before she does,
Mhm.
Bud is going to like gently grab her hand and like put the other one like on top of it and say like, "Thank you so much."
And she smiles at you, her angular features twisting into a gentle grin, and she nods a little bit and says, "It's my pleasure. I'm just glad that it worked."
Raising the dead. How about that?
It is not something that we usually try to do. Often we try to let the dead rest, but this seemed an occasion. If you need me, I'll be taking some time downstairs. And she pats your other hand on top of hers and leaves the room, closing the door softly behind her, leaving you all with the now simply unconscious form of Gundren Rockseeker. I think that is where we will take a break.
I was about to
Good
say,
idea.
perfect spot for a break.
Yeah.
For about 10 minutes or so, and then we'll come back here.
Dude.
Okay. And we're back.
A
So-
dinosaur story.
God dang it.
I appreciate that.
I do too. I appreciate that a lot. That was really good. I liked that.
Love that.
All right, so as you are all left alone in this room with your previously expired dwarven friend, what would you all like to do?
Niah is just gonna stand there and keep staring at him.
Reyka's gonna put her hand on his head, just kind of like feel to make sure that he's actually warm. And, is he warm?
He is, yes. He seems maybe a little clammy, as being recently dead might do to you. But
Okay.
he does appear to be a warm body once again.
Okay. Reassured that he has heat and is probably actually alive and not a zombie, she'll just like kind of lightly caress his hair a little bit before standing back and just kind of looking at him.
And as your hand leaves his head, you see he sort of winces and his eyes blink open just a little bit. And he takes in your group for several moments, seeming to try and sit himself up a little bit further in bed and failing to do so. And just mutters "Oh, good. You all made it. Good morning."
What time is it again?
It's 6 in the evening.
Bro, he is awake, and we were told to be a week.
You were said it'd be a few days.
Bud is just speechless.
Same. Rinn is just like,
Niah is still staring.
Reyka says, Gundren, how are you feeling?
Like I've been hit with 1,000 cows. Buried in a
I
mine.
know what that's like.
Where are
You've been
we?
hit. So Niah just kind of the back from the wall. You've been hit with the weight of your idiocy.
Well, that's one way to wake up. Oh, good to see you too, young lady.
You were dead.
I kind of did figure, given, the blade that was in my chest. Which was the last thing I saw. Where are we?
Phandalin.
Great. And you're all fine.
Better than you.
True.
Were your secrets really worth this?
Trust me, it'll all be worth it in the end. I think I'm going to keep laying here, if you don't mind. And
Yeah, you should
Probably a
rest,
good
Gundren.
idea.
he looks at all of you and just kind of settles back against the one feather pillow at the head of the bed. And seems to pass right back out again.
Mm-hmm.
Bud's tail's just like wagging behind him. Yes.
Thava just kind of looks at Bud's wagging tail and is just kind of like,
With Gundren
Guess no one's happy.
With
No,
Gundren
it's just-
having passed out again, Synas will try to quietly slide out of the room.
Yep.
Rinn looks kind of angry, and she just abruptly turns around and walks out of the room.
what?
Yeah.
So as you're like sliding out of the room, Rinn just kind of barges right past you and
I got the door for you, don't worry.
Reyka's just gonna put her ear up to his head just to kind of like make sure he actually just fell back asleep and is still breathing.
still breathing. You can
And
you can hear him breathing, and his beard sort of flutters a little bit as he
Okay.
exhales.
reassured that he didn't just die again, she'll also leave the room after Rinn makes her kerfuffle out the room.
Mm-hmm.
So I actually, my internet died for a moment there. I actually missed what was done and said.
I'm also confused.
Rinn's just storming out of the room. That's all.
So storming out of the room. Okay.
Storming.
Synas also has left.
Okay.
What all would you guys like to do?
Niah is just gonna stay there as Vanguard.
Okay.
I need to find a man.
Which
I
man?
need to find a Sildar man.
A Sildar man.
Yeah.
He's got some needs tonight.
As you head back down into the main area of the tavern here, you see Sildar sitting in that southwestern corner of the inn, seeming to be enjoying a cup of tea by himself.
Synas will, as he gets down from the stairs, kind of clap his hands together and say, "Just the man I was looking to see," as he kind of makes his way over to Sildar.
And he looks up at you from over his cup and just goes, "Oh, no. Synas, hello. Yes, what can I do for you?"
Nabanian, forgive me. I forgot to deliver something to you last time we were here. We were a bit distracted, to say the least.
Certainly.
And he kind of ruffles around through his pack to procure the chainmail and longsword that belongs to Sildar that he forgot to give last time. Just been carrying that for another week.
Oh, good. Oh, you found it. Wonderful. Where did you find it?
It was up at Craigmaw Castle.
Really?
Just kind of tossed away near a storage room.
Bastards. Well,
Figured you'd probably want that back.
yes, quite. And he takes the sword and looks it over, nodding approvingly, and looks over the chainmail armor with a bit of a grin, but at the same time, you notice he looks a bit saddened and thoughtful. But he looks up at you and just nods a bit and looks...
Is it missing a piece?
No,
You
no.
don't look thrilled.
No, it's not that. It's just a reminder. That's all. I don't think I'm really cut out to keep fighting. As much as the fighting spirit lives on within me, I clearly am not as agile and capable as I once was. So...
Well, I mean, sometimes a bit of a small town needs somebody who looks imposing to lead them, you know?
Certainly. And that is my goal. You should know, the current town master is being removed within the next week. I received a message from an individual in Waterdeep. A replacement is being sent, but that will take another week or so for them to arrive. But you should let your brazen personalities amongst your group know. I'm sure they'd be quite happy to hear.
I'll have to pass that along, then I'll try to rein them in a little bit, try not to cause some new problems for you.
Oh, good luck with that. A bit like, well, pardon a pun, it's a bit like herding cats, I imagine.
You have no idea. Animals, a lot of them.
Well, thank you again for returning this to me. I have nothing really to offer you except for my thanks.
Nothing was expected, don't worry about it. Just figured it was something you may need back.
Preferably, yes. If you'd like to sit, you could have some tea with me if you like.
You know, after the past week and a half, that actually sounds wonderful. And we will absolutely take you up on that offer.
Sildar moves a few things out of the way and beckons Toblin over, and he brings another large cup and fills it with a nice herbal green tea for you to enjoy with the veteran soldier there. While that's happening, Rinn, anyone else, what would you like to be doing this evening? If there's anything specific anyone wants to do, or...
I think Reyka's gonna find herself a light meal and go to sleep early.
Okay. Easily done.
Yeah, she's an early riser, so early bed.
Reyka goes to her room at like 8 p.m.
Mm-hmm. Well, you know when you get up with the sun.
Yeah, it's true. Anything else?
Rinn is gonna kind of like pace around outside of the dwarf's room,
Mhm.
see if he wakes up at any point in the evening before getting too tired and eventually falling asleep.
Well, actually, so how long do you pace?
Like pretty much the whole night until like it's too late
oh,
to the point that
really?
she's like, I should go to bed.
So maybe an hour or two into that, you see does Niah open the door.
Wait a minute. I was also in there with Niah. I did
Oh,
not
you-
immediately leave.
Yeah.
However, I'm not gonna stay for a fucking hour or two.
Yeah.
So before Thava leaves, she just kind of looks to Niah and says, "Just let the poor dwarf sleep. I understand you probably have some things you want to tell him, but just give him a day or so. He did just come back to life."
Niah's eyes kind of flick to you, stare at you for a moment, and then flick back to Gundren.
And she just kind of, lets her do her thing, I guess. She's not gonna push it. And then she'll exit the doorway and probably see Rinn out there pacing.
Mm-hmm.
She looks at Thava and she goes, "Did he wake up?"
No, I don't think he's going to wake up, or at least be in a mood to have a serious conversation for a little while. You want to
Okay.
talk to him, don't you?
Well, yeah. I mean, we just went through all of this and he just wakes up for a second and then goes to sleep.
He was dead.
Tell us why he was out there.
He'll tell us in the morning, I hope.
Yeah.
You're not going to do any good just standing out here waiting for him. He needs a little bit of time to recover.
She finds a chair outside the door and just kind of like drags it over and plops herself down loudly.
Yeah, Thava just kind of rolls her eyes a bit, but just kind of continues on to her room.
So is your
So
party...
does Rinn ever leave?
No, she's outside the door until it gets late enough. I don't know, how near she might even fall asleep in the chair for all I know.
Yeah, okay. After an hour or two of you lurking outside, Niah just kind of walks over to the door, opens it, pokes her head out, and says, "Just wait inside."
Then I'd have to be next to you. Fine. She comes inside.
Yeah, Niah is just
Wow.
gonna stare at you, unblinking.
Her arm.
This is what friendship looks like.
Apparently.
She's gonna loudly drag her chair into the room.
Very heavy of wood on wood.
Yeah, the entire time, Niah is just wincing.
Sorry,
then-
that's right, big ears.
And then just goes back to watching Gundren.
After... Is there anything else you two would like to do or talk about?
Unless Rinn wants to pose something, Niah's just gonna stand there silently.
Gonna silently stare at him
Uh
while
huh.
he's sleeping.
Uh huh.
Oh boy.
God, what the fuck is wrong with you two?
That's too long of a conversation. We don't have
I'm not
time for
gonna
that.
stare at him. I'm probably gonna cross my arms and go to sleep.
Yeah, eventually Niah will actually just curl up in a corner and sleep.
There are other
Couple
chairs
free
in the room.
times.
Okay,
Is
fair.
there a dog bed in the room that Niah can curl up on?
Did you actually say that?
She's
No,
gone.
of course
She's
not.
so far elsewhere.
Thava's gone. This is
I love the threat in that. Do you actually say that?
Don't worry. The dog jokes are coming in character at some point.
Can't wait. So probably Synas and Bud. Where do you go after all this?
I'm not entirely sure. I mean, I think you'd have a nice meal after, another long day.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe play some fetch with Bolt.
Sure.
I don't know if it's like really dark or whatever, but
There's torchlight out in the small, sort of square. Not really a square, but as close to a square as possible for this little town that's out front of the inn.
okay. Nothing too serious.
And that means, Bud, you are the first to notice Izithar finally coming to the tavern about an hour and a half after you guys had brought Gundren back, well after it's dark.
Oh, shit. I forgot about that.
He doesn't seem to pay you any mind as he heads for the door of the inn. And Synas, you see the large dragonborn enter and start to scan the room and sort of locks eyes on you and makes his way over toward where you and Sildar are sitting. Sildar, who would have spent the entire time idly chatting with you and sharing in as much tea as you wanted, and he seems to be very much into the tea time.
Yes, Synas has probably gone through a few cups as well.
The large dragonborn settles himself down on a chair, nodding to Sildar and then looking at you and putting his elbow on the table, letting out a bit of a sigh. Looking around at now that it's, closer to 8, 9 sort of area, most people have cleared out and it's fairly quiet in the inn once again. Sort of looks at you and goes, "So, you're one of the more reasonable, quiet ones of the group. So I want to talk to you about this."
Bud will remember that.
Alright.
Why is your party here helping Gundren Rockseeker? I need to know.
There's a few layers I could answer on that.
Answer whatever you're comfortable with.
Are you talking on a personal level or as the group as a whole?
I'm talking on an objective level. I'm talking about exactly what it is you are all here to achieve, and what he's here to achieve.
Well, I'll be honest with you. Of all the people you could have asked, you may have started with the one who's a bit of a dead end. Gundren hired me to help with scouting, with navigating, with directing the group. Technically, by all accounts, my job is done. I may be heading out within the next few days. The objective that Gundren and the rest of the group have, I'm somewhat, how you would say, clued in on what is happening, but to be honest, it's not, to be completely blunt, it's not within my job description. and we'll see what the cards say. If I'll be doing more with them or not.
I see. So you follow your god?
I wouldn't really say it's a god more than anything. Each night I chart the stars, do a reading with my deck of cards, and depending on the signs, depending on the orientation of the cards, I make a deduction on what my next course of action is. Ever since I was hired by Gundren back in Neverwinter, that's not actually been the most reliable. I've been getting the same reading for close to 2 weeks now, but perhaps now that Gundren is alive again, and the job is complete, it may tell me to move on. I haven't yet gotten to it tonight.
I see. What your friend is looking for out here is... And he pauses, looking at Sildar, and then looking around the room a bit. Something that many others have interest in keeping closed. I have to know if I can trust you and your group to make the right decisions. And again, the reason I'm talking to you is because you're one of the more level-headed and insightful ones. That I can tell, at least. This cave that he's looking for. It's more than a mine. And there's a reason it hasn't been found again for 500 years.
Well, I'm glad you already know it's a mine and a cave. Thank you for being honest with me about that. Why do you want it to stay closed?
Well, not necessarily myself, but my organization. Seek to maintain the balance of power along the Sword Coast. And what's in that cave, they believe, would potentially upset that balance.
You a fan of spiders?
They're fine.
Because I don't think we're the group that you should be worried about. You're aware there are others out here that are seemingly trying to get to that cave, right?
Very. And you are the only ones who have made it obvious with your association with your employer that you are also looking for it. At least, that's what I would assume, given what his brothers have been looking for as well.
Well, between Glassstaff and between some figure known as the Black Spider, I believe it was, we seem to be 1 or 2 steps behind. For all I know, that there may be somebody out there already prying the damn thing open.
Well?
Not just here, but at Cragmaw Castle, we've been steps behind.
Yeah. I have been too. That's why I've been trying to get caught up. Well, I'm not certain what Gundren's goals will be, but whatever is in there, something that's in there, needs to not be out of there. They were cryptic with me too. I don't know if it's a money thing or a land thing or a magic thing. But
They just want you to keep it closed.
they want to make sure that no one is using it. Whatever it is. As far as most people know, it's probably one of the most untapped resources for things like platinum and gold in this part of the Sword Coast.
Do you know where it is? Have you known this whole time?
No. That's one of the
So-
things I'm trying to figure out too.
So, wait. So your organization wants to keep this cave or this mine closed, but you don't know where it is.
I don't know where it is, and they gave me a map that led me to here. And I came here expecting that I would be able to find a rumor or two, and everyone just shrugs. And the Rockseeker brothers were supposed to be the ones that would have been my best lead, but here we are.
Well, given the state we found Gundren in, I hate to phrase it this way, but given we've also had to spend a week saving him, we are still steps behind. I think that cave, wherever it is probably going to be open by the time we find it.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Did they give you any information on the consequences of if it opened? Anything cryptic even?
Mainly just there is something beyond the money that needs to not be used. That's all that the letter said.
Well, that's not a lot to go off of.
Welcome to my world.
I don't think I like your world too much.
I don't think I do either, but I keep doing it for some reason. Taking a vow to help keep things safe no matter the cost. Talk to your friend when he wakes up. If he knows where the place is and you all can get there, maybe I can come with you. Help deal with whatever is there. If it's something nefarious or if it's just a mine with a secret, we'll find out.
I mean, I certainly wouldn't turn down an extra set of hands helping. Given this Black Spider seems to have connections all around the region. I feel like we might need all the help we can get. So I certainly wouldn't turn it down, but again, that's if I'm still here.
Right.
But I'll pass it along, see what the others think.
It's not every day you run into adventurers that actually seem like they have their shit together. So I don't
God.
mean
Would you
I don't
like a
mean on an
story?
individual level.
There's more tea.
The
The night is young.
He just kind of shoots you a grin and goes, I like stories.
You ever heard one about a dragon slamming through a wall?
Sounds fun. Should tell it
It's
to
not when you're in front of it.
me. You know, first-hand accounts make for the best songs.
It's true.
And as the night wanes on, Izathar sits with you, talking,
Sildar eventually excusing himself to go find a chair to sleep in, as his room is currently occupied by Gundren.
Such a greedy dwarf, God.
And we can move into the night for a long rest to bring about morning, and you don't have to have watches if you don't want to.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Niah's just watching Gundren.
Well, you're right. Was there anything else you wanted to do, Niah? I heard an
I was just debating. So Rinn already fell asleep, right?
Probably zonked out in a chair, yeah.
Yeah. Once
Loudly.
it
Loudly
gets late
snoring.
enough,
Yeah.
then Niah really can't stay awake. She'll nudge Rinn awake.
Wow.
What? Did he wake up?
No, your turn.
My
Niah
turn
says.
to what?
Niah says as she curls up on a chair and falls asleep soon after.
Rinn also goes to sleep.
Nailed it.
Nailed it.
Perfect watch.
Great watch.
Good watching. Your party.
He'll say something if he wakes up.
Your
Oh,
party.
more You know, there are people trying to kill him, but
I'm sure it's fine. Why would you think that?
I don't know, maybe because he got fucking stabbed in the heart.
I don't know about that. As night passes, you all find your way to rooms, beds, chairs, whatever seems comfortable in the moment. Bolt curled up against Bud's side, regardless of where he finds himself. And you all get a nice, finally good night's rest now that you have brought your dwarf friend back. The morning comes. Reyka is awake first, probably, having gone to bed the earliest. Up with the sun. Is there anything you want to do before the rest of your compatriots wake up specifically?
No, not specifically today. She's just up and milling about. She probably walks into Gundren's room and just kind of peeks in, make sure he's still okay.
You see Niah and Rinn asleep on different chairs, and Gundren still asleep in the bed, and Rinn snoring loudly.
I guess she'll just mill about the tavern until everybody else wakes up.
And I'd say probably Bud is the next one to show up, and eventually your entire group begins to trickle into the tavern once more, as it fills with the usual morning smells of breakfasts and individuals talking before they get ready to go about their day. What would you guys like to do?
Niah just grabs breakfast and goes back up to go to his room. So.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
You're obsessed.
Yeah, almost like a fake critter had some problems.
It's fine. I'm sure she's fine.
Do we have to have somebody up there to protect Gundren when he wakes up? Like, is Niah gonna, like...
Freak out?
Gonna, like, kill him again?
Hopefully
Like a
not.
Target on Black Friday.
Gotta be first in line.
We're just gonna come down for breakfast and see what the rest of the group is up to. She's bored and hungry. And, yeah.
There is plenty of food to be had. A very rustic continental breakfast, basically.
Great. Where's everybody else? Are y'all in the tavern, or?
I think so, yeah. Synas would be.
Or am I, Dre?
Where are you, Thava? Are
Where am
you asleep? Were you out and about? What were you doing this morning?
What was I doing? No, it's okay. I was probably sleeping in, per usual. Thava is not an early morning person at all.
So Rinn probably finds Reyka, Bud, and Synas. and knows where the rest of the party is, probably from Thava's snoring and Niah's staring.
Nice. You can hear it from all the way down.
Yeah,
Hear the
sound
staring.
of
Hear
Niah's
the
staring
staring.
lasers into Gundren's forehead. Yes, the day is yours. None of you are really sure how many days Gundren needs to recover from this ordeal. But as an above-the-table sort of thing, you've got basically 4 days of downtime as
Wow.
Gundren recovers from a Raise Dead spell. He has 4 levels of exhaustion.
Oh dear.
Sleepy boy.
Sleepy boy.
4 days. What are we gonna do with ourselves?
You got
Frank?
4
Come
days
on.
of downtime.
Is it time to do side quests now?
I don't know.
If we can convince Niah to stop staring at him.
Can you?
I don't know, can you?
I mean, we
to
do have a
wrestle
debt
or
to
what?
pay. There was the cleric
Yes.
who helped us.
That would get Niah to move.
Also, Rinn just kind of wants to address the group and be like, the fuck are we doing now? I mean, this guy got himself killed looking for whatever it is he was doing out here. And, I don't know where we go from here exactly.
So you're asking what, like, so, like, Niah's upstairs, so I'm assuming
Yeah.
Niah's not hearing this.
Yeah, and Thava's not there either because she's
You've got
sleeping in.
Yeah.
Bud, Synas, and Reyka.
Yeah. God, I'm looking at you. What are we doing?
So all the,
Already
all the
know.
outdoorsies.
Y'all all got this bystander syndrome. Bon, I'm looking at you.
And was there anything else that we had on, like, any side quests?
You do have the thing that the cleric had asked you to do, which was dealing,
Right.
asking the banshee in a town a fair bit of the way up the Tribor Trail about a certain spell book.
Wasn't there something about orcs too?
You had seen a job posting about orcs that had set up a encampment in an area much farther to the east that you would get paid for if you eradicated.
I think Reyka's going to be very comfortable about leaving town with Gundren on the mend. But she also is loath to give away days of where she could be making some money.
Yeah.
How much does like game go for in the city? Like if she went out and like hunted some rabbits or whatever.
I'd say depending on how much you bring back, probably get it, like, do you want to go like hunt an entire deer or several deer?
Yeah, whatever. Yeah, I don't know unless the party comes up with something better to do. Reyka's not going to want to just sit around for 4 days.
Sure.
Yeah, we're gonna
I'm
need
not.
money.
Yeah, we're not.
This
Yeah, I'm
this
not.
cave could be trouble.
What's that?
We're gonna need money for supplies if this cave is trouble.
Yeah.
If we actually open the thing.
Yeah, I mean, come
Thinking
on.
you want to do the orc quest?
Yeah, we're
I was gonna
adventurers.
say,
We
if
need to.
yeah, if we need to stock up, then we should do something like that.
You know, Sister Gariel wanted us to go deliver a comb to a banshee to ask where a spellbook is. Which implies that we can ask any question to the banshee, right?
What do you mean?
Izzy was a bit cagey with me the other night about Wave Echo Cave. He wants it closed. Well, not him specifically, the organization he works for.
The
he doesn't.
Harpers.
I assume, yeah. He was told that something beyond money is the reason why that place needs to be closed, but beyond that, he doesn't know why. Just that the Harpers seem to want it to remain closed. Now, I don't know if a Banshee would know the answer, but
Would Gundren know the answer?
I feel like Gundren is just here for the money, if I had to guess. As nice as he has been, I feel like this is more just a money venture for him.
It makes sense given he only brought one man with him as backup, and no guard. I don't think he knew how dangerous this was.
Yeah, I guess he's used to being in over his head.
I get the feeling he just wants to stake the claim to whatever ore might be in there, or resources. Now, of course, asking the Banshee a question that Sister Gariel is not wanting the answer to means we're gonna end up upsetting her, but it's a thought. Information's just as valuable sometimes. Assuming a Banshee would know, of course.
Did she have a question in mind for the Banshee that she
She's
wanted us to
looking-
ask?
She wanted us to ask for the location of the spellbook of... What was it? It was in the quest journal that I wrote down. Where the spellbook of Bow Gentle is. I believe she said they had lost the location of it and they were trying to find it.
Ray, what would I know about banshees?
What would you know about banshees?
Me, not in character. I don't know what they are in the context of D&D.
Oh, you as a player, not you as a character, or you as a character,
Well,
not you as a player?
well, I don't know. Maybe it depends on if I got to roll for it. But like, I personally
I'll roll
don't know.
for it.
I would
sure.
say it would be an Arcana check.
Oh,
Yes, you should do it.
Learn about some
Deriaz.
banshee.
how about a 12?
Okay,
8 plus 4.
12.
Not great, but maybe basic info.
Yeah.
Can I roll?
Yeah, sure. Go ahead.
It's
see.
a ghost.
It's a
I got
ghost.
14.
A 14.
Yeah.
So on a 12 and a 14, I'd say that you guys, one way or another, have heard that some spirits can haunt areas where they passed more, not persistently, but more determinedly than just a ghost. That banshees are spiteful creatures, usually. They are spirits that still remain and carry with them some very negative energy and emotions, often appearing and being, or rather often appearing to people as wailing women who have been wronged in life.
That doesn't sound very wave echo cavey, actually. I might have been talking out my ass then. There's a thought.
Wait, what do you mean?
Well, if it's an undead that is basically harboring negative emotion and stuff, we'd need to know Wave Echo Cave is in that region where she died. She's not just gonna know information of something like miles away, you know.
Right.
And it would need to be related to the cave, so.
I would say, Bud, with your 14, you would know that they are very vain creatures, even in death. And often they can be appeased with objects related to vanity.
Silver comb.
Oh yeah, that's the comb.
Yeah.
And Gariel had mentioned to you that she felt the Banshee would know something about this abstract question. Though you guys are not necessarily sure if she knows everything about anything you ask her.
Yeah. I'm under the assumption that if it's harboring negative emotion and, ill will towards the person that wronged her or whatever, that's a long stretch to connect that to Wave Echo Cave.
Mm-hmm. Seems pretty unrelated.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, if we're looking for a fight, I suppose the orcs then would be the better option.
Are the orcs and like this banshee like in the same direction or opposite directions?
I think the orcs were near Thunder Tree. I think I wrote that down as well.
Oh,
No,
that's
orcs
far.
spotted near Wyvern Tor.
Which, if we go to Senior Big Map here,
I love Senior Big Maps.
here's the map.
Where do you wish to go?
Exactly. The Wyvern Tor area is all the way to the eastern side of the map.
Oh, they're sort of.
And
kinda.
The
Oh,
ruined village of Coneyberry is near where the cleric told you the Banshee has made home.
So, roughly. But doing both would probably take us away for longer than is probably needed.
Mm-hmm. Well, honestly, I really think the favor for the cleric is probably top priority, considering we fucking owe her big time. I mean, Gundren owes her probably more than we do, but we work for Gundren, so I think maybe that should be the way we go.
think so too.
Not
But
a
if we're
bad
gonna
idea.
try to appeal to her vanity, like, what do we want to do?
Well, she gave us that comb, which I figure would be some kind of gift for her.
I suppose we got some money in reserve. If that's not enough,
Oh gosh, I hope it's enough.
we can give her some compliments too. I'm cool with that. Should we just go and ask the others if they want to come along?
I have a feeling Niah won't, but we should definitely ask.
She's just standing there.
Menacingly. So,
Rinn's gonna go upstairs and peek her head in the room.
well, about this time, getting on toward about 10 a.m. after you guys have had breakfast and several of you have come down. Rinn, as you go back up and peek your head in, just as Niah notices Gundren beginning to stir from his sleep once again.
Mhm.
Oh.
And shifting, trying to sit himself up again. As he blinks sleepily, his eyes blink open, and he looks first at Niah and goes, "You've been standing there all night?"
I've been sitting.
Right. Okay.
You have enemies, dwarf.
Clearly. And you
Powerful.
certainly
Powerful ones.
seem like you have a lot of questions.
Yes, first. What the hell are we doing?
Right. If your friends are all here, go get them and we'll have a talk.
So, Niah just kind of... So at this point, Rinn has poked your head in, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah,
She was
Niah
trying to
just
say,
kinda-
"Hey, Niah." Oh.
Yeah, Niah just kind of turns her head to Rinn and just gestures with her chin.
Oh. Rinn turns around and yells, "Hey, Gundren's awake!"
Yeah, Niah is wincing the entire time.
The rest
Get
of
your
you...
bums up here!
The rest of you downstairs hear
Niah,
Rinn yelling
You have
and
something wrong with your eye? You should get that checked.
and
Yes, it's 5 feet tall and has horns.
Thava, you hear Rinn's piercing yell even through the walls of the inn here.
Oh god. No. Yeah.
Do I know the room that Thava's sleeping in?
You have seen her go in there, yeah.
Is it
It's-
close?
Yeah, it's
Is it within clopping distance?
oh, easily. You could certainly get there within 20 feet. It's the first door up the stairs on the left kind of thing. You are
Great, I'll
but
go
a few
bang
doors
on
away.
the door.
Oh.
I'll go bang on it and I'll say, Thava! Gundren is awake!
Oh, by the gods, give me a second. And you just hear like rummaging and stuff inside, like, you know, like she's throwing some stuff on or something. And then exits the room. She's not wearing like armor or anything crazy. So you said he was awake?
Come on.
Alright, and then she just follows.
And assumably the rest of your party makes their way upstairs.
Yeah.
And you all gather in Gundren's room again, who has actually managed to sit himself up somewhat at the head of the bed there. And as you all come in, he gestures for you to close the door, whoever the last one who enters is. And he looks at all of you with a bit of a weak grin and just says, "All right. First of all, I am eternally indebted to all of you for saving me. And I'm sorry that I called you out here on sort of a secret assignment, but clearly you have questions, and I'll answer them. As far as your question first, Niah, what are we doing here? Well, given the scenario I find myself in and what has transpired over the last couple days, my goal remains the same: to reopen Wavoko Cave and get it working again. But I can't do that without all your help. And,
All right, Gundren.
and
Go on.
I will offer you all each 5% of the profit shares from the mine. If you help me, we could become the richest people in Faerun. Easily.
And are you aware of how dangerous this is turning out to be? You died.
Yes, I did. But my brothers are out there somewhere looking for this fucking thing, and I had a map to it. Did you find the map? When
Out of character, did we?
No.
Okay.
We had to leave pretty quick.
Nope. Sure didn't. There was a big dragon that we had to run from, so no.
Oh. Wonderful. Right.
Maybe we should catch you up on what has happened over the last week.
I suppose instead of me trying to direct you, that would be beneficial. Yes.
All right, can we just have
Yeah.
fill it in?
And then we did.
Montage.
Montage. And he
Exposition done.
exposition. He sits quietly listening to all of you, in turn, talking about what has occurred over the last week and a half.
What? Yeah. How long has it been since we left Neverwinter?
It
Yeah.
feels like a week and a half.
It's been about a week and a half, like 14 days.
Okay.
Remember, weeks in here, 10 days.
Right.
It took 3 days to get here. We wandered the forest for like 4 days. And wandered back to the castle, which took like 3... Yeah, it's been like a week and a half.
Yeah. Yeah, it's about that. And he nods a bit and goes, all right, so you've all had already your fair share of fun.
You could say that.
Yes, because having a wall slam into me is so very fun.
Right. Well, I can't make you do this for me. All I can say is that it is worth it, and if this Black Spider individual seeks to sell the place off, well, doesn't seem the type that's very, how do you say, not much of a philanthropist, one might say. My goal is not specifically for greed or anything of the sort, but that money could help so many individuals in Neverwinter. And my connections would be happy to receive extra funding. And I'm sure you all would as well.
Gundren, you already know I am in.
Well, that's one. But there is still this problem of... Well, two problems now. You don't have my map, which makes it difficult. I do have it in my head where it is. Might take me another day or so to get there without the map. It is buried deep to the southeast in the Sword Mountains. So it's a bit of a walk. And a bit treacherous. On purpose. When I'm back on my feet, I guess we can talk about who's in or not. But I
just
am...
want to make sure you're aware that the Harpers think there's something in there that they wouldn't want falling into the wrong hands.
Harpers are always getting in everyone's way.
But you do owe them your life.
Always.
It is the Harper's aid that brought you back.
Well, did he tell you what's in there?
Nidah shrugs.
No.
You know what's in there, Gundren?
I
How'd you
know-
find this cave?
That's one of my secrets. My brothers and I have been scouring this part of Faerun for a long time. And
Niah just frowns. Your secrets have already nearly cost your life.
I was gonna say, Gundren, like, if we're gonna do this together, I don't think we can keep secrets now. We need to like trust each other here.
make
He's
a
right. I help him.
Bud and Niah, one of you make a both of you make a persuasion check, or one of you make it at advantage.
I suppose I should do that?
Yes. I support
Okay.
Bud.
Alright, let me see.
So, wait, are you doing your own persuasion, or are you gonna give me advantage?
Bud.
Both of you roll persuasion.
Okay. Cool. 24.
Wow.
Nice.
16.
16. Wow.
Also pretty nice. I still support it.
I don't got any points in persuasion, so that's pretty good.
Pretty good. Gundren lets out a long drawn out sigh. Shakes his head a little bit. There are other competing mining companies that have been prospecting in this part of the Sword Mountains for decades. Individuals who I have certain personal vendettas with. Individuals who cut me out of deals before. And individuals that have been sending spies to try and figure out what I and my brothers have found.
and get there before us. And apparently, also killing us is not off the table.
Wait, these adversaries of yours, you think they are the ones that are gathering goblins and hobgoblins and all kinds of ill-meaning critters?
I think that there's no lengths to which they wouldn't go to try and stop us, but... well, I'm not certain. I've never heard of a black spider before. I'm not sure exactly who they might be.
Gundren, this seems bigger than just competing mining interests.
Well, certainly, but doesn't that
Sounds
mean...
like a war about to break out?
doesn't that mean we should be trying to stop it before it happens? And
Oh,
that
yes.
would involve going there and taking control of it ourselves. When I was at the castle being interrogated, there was another individual there with the bugbear. Which, by the way, did you deal with him?
Yeah, he's dead.
Oh, good. Great. Helps. Just making sure.
Helps.
Oh, it just puts me at ease a little bit. There was a drow that he was speaking with regularly.
Mm-hmm.
A representative from the Black Spider. I never caught her name, but apparently the goal was to trade me and the map over for money rather than, as was previously agreed, for just survival. I'm not sure what the bugbear was getting out of it, but it sounded like he wanted a lot more, and well, that's probably about when I passed out. You didn't run into a drow at all, did you?
No.
I feel like we would remember if we did.
Well, that raises more questions than answers. And if you didn't find my map, then that probably means that it's already gone off to, less worthy hands. And that map specifically tells you how to get down to the actually valuable portion of the caves. The Wave Echo Cave itself is buried beneath the Sword Mountains, beneath a different set of caverns. It's very complicated to get there, and having that map not only tells you where the entrance to the whole thing starts, but how to get down there without falling afoul of the mountain.
And it fell into your enemy's hands.
Correct. Which presents a bit of a difficulty.
Unless it is gathering dust in a dragon's hoard.
Also possible, I suppose.
You weren't yet traded.
Presume not. I do remember just briefly seeing you all bust into the room.
Yeah, about that. So, potentially... we don't know what happened to that map, though.
It could still be at the castle.
Or it could be in the enemy's hands. And if we're wrong...
Well, either way about it, I'm in no state to get anywhere, so why don't you lot take a few days and prepare, see if there's anything else you can drum up or figure out. Maybe my brothers will know more. Have they come back to town?
No, they're late.
They haven't been seen in weeks.
Oh, that's...
Not good.
I'm worried about them too.
Nundro is never late.
Do you have some way to contact them? Some place you... rendezvous points, fallbacks, places that you know they'll go in case of trouble?
Well, they were supposed to come here. If anything happened, we would meet at the inn, decide what to do, and either leave or make a new plan.
Where were they going last?
Well, last time I had seen them, I was in Neverwinter. They were coming out here to prepare the entry point into the cavern, and we were going to, with all of your help, potentially, go in and find out what riches await us. Unfortunately, we kept communicating to each other at a minimum just to not provide, a paper trail.
So if we find the cave, we most likely find the brothers, is what I'm getting from this.
Probably.
Gundren, I have a question.
Sure.
If you're like competitors, I guess is one way to put it. If they're like rallying like forces behind them, shouldn't we try to like see if anybody else can rally with us? Like, if we're gonna like prepare and everything, is there anybody that we should like reach out to that to come help us?
Not that would get here in less than a week or more.
Still, maybe worth it.
I don't think we have that sort of time.
Well, could you not send Sildar with a message?
I could send him back to Waterdeep, but...
And truthfully, if there are truly orcs and hobgoblins and goblins themselves running amok across this land, the Lords of Waterdeep should probably do something about it regardless.
The Lords of Waterdeep are probably already aware of it, and have been thinking about it. They do think ahead quite a bit. I'll have to see Sildar and speak with him, see where things are at, but... for now, I think best if we don't involve more people in this than necessary.
Gundren, one thing. What of the Harpers? You can't ignore that they think there's something else in those mines. Something dangerous. I think you should talk with them. Try to see what it is they know. You might be their best shot to get it in to the right hands.
Otherwise, we may get in trouble and wind up, in the crosshairs of even more people. If there's something behind all this.
We don't need more enemies.
No, you're right. I'll speak with whatever representatives are here.
I didn't even
While
have to
I'm-
roll for that one.
While you're recovering.
Good.
I apologize for sending you all on a bit of a goose chase that turned out a bit more dangerous than I anticipated, but...
Well, I say you've paid for it already.
Well, either way, I owe a lot of debts to a lot of people, but I'm glad to owe debts to people I like at least. Well, if you've no more questions, I need to rest.
There is the matter of your safety over the coming days while you're recovering.
I don't think anyone will attack here. While this place doesn't really have centralized law, it's not really, a place people just...
You do recall that a bunch of brigands and bandits took over this town not that long ago.
Well, I assume, since you all are standing here, that they're not anymore. And he looks at Niah directly and goes,
Their leader escaped.
"Oh, well, that's a shame. I'm sure you'll fix that eventually."
Oh, yes.
Either way, you should probably hire a detail if we're going to leave you.
I'll figure something out. Don't you worry about me. Between Sildar and my... I would say my pockets, but I don't have much gold on me anymore.
Last time you told us not to worry, that we will see you soon, you got kidnapped. And died.
And then we had to bring you back, and we've done nothing but think about you for the last week.
Also, we cannot revive you the same way again, so please don't die again.
Not on my list of things to do. I will take a special care to not allow myself to think I am safe at all times. But I think the individuals here in town will help and make sure everything is fine.
Fine, I'll do the best we can do then.
Why do I not feel satisfied with that answer?
You could go looking for someone to hire yourself if you want.
Now that is a splendid idea. And Rinn turns around and leaves the room.
Niah looks down at Gundren's form. Are you ready to speak with the Harpers now, or would you wish to speak with them later?
I'll do it in my own time. I'd rather rest and collect my thoughts on the matter.
Niah just nods her head and leaves the room.
And he looks at the rest of you and just nods a bit. Thank you all again. There's a big fat paycheck at the end of all this. That I can promise you.
I look forward to it.
And he settles back down again to look out the window and rest, leaving you all to your own. Rinn, since you stormed off so quickly and determinedly, where are you going?
First, the monster hunter. He's still healing, I assume.
Yes, he is, as you know, in the room just opposite the room you are leaving.
Right. I will peek in and see his progress.
As you look in, you see the monster hunter has been up and about and was just about to come out of the door, so you end up looking straight at his torso and then up at him as he stands there, just sort of flat expression. Can I help you?
You're awake.
Yeah.
Hi.
Hi.
Feeling better?
No.
Oh.
What is it that you need? You're very loud, by the way.
Sorry? I'm looking for, some folk, able-bodied ones who could, be hired to look after a friend of mine. Do you know anyone, that could do that?
He stares at you for a few moments and just blinks a couple times and goes, "Not really.
What are you up to?
I am going to begin preparing for a dragon hunt."
Yes, I guess that takes priority for you. I'll keep looking then, thanks.
Before you go,
Yeah?
you said you guys ran into that dragon as well.
Rinn kind of seethes a little bit, and she says, we did, aye.
If I asked you and yours if you want to maybe go hunting at some point, what would you say to that?
Wait, are we talking the white one or the green one?
The white, the actually dangerous one, the white one.
The green one's plenty dangerous, let me tell you.
Sounded young when you described him.
Well,
This is when
I'd
you
be
ask
more
what
than
level
willing
he
to...
is.
What?
This is when you ask what level he is.
Well, I'd be more than willing to slap the green one around a bit, to be honest.
Well,
As for the white one, I can't say we've ever been much of dragon slayers, but if you're paying, maybe we have time. We're kind of busy right now.
Everyone always is. That's why Dragon Slayers exist. And he pats you on the shoulder with a smirk. Just think about it.
I'll put it in my list of things to do.
Right.
She walks away.
Out of character. That's called foreshadowing.
I can think of one party member who would hate the idea of this quest.
Can't
Sorry,
imagine who that
Thava.
would be.
Why am I just not around?
You probably would have heard that conversation happening not 20 feet away from the door out of the room you're in.
I guess so. Maybe I would.
Especially this Rinn is not quiet.
Yeah.
Hey,
She just kind of comes around the corner after, I guess saying goodbye to our dwarf friend, and then just goes, what's this about hunting dragons?
And Jadet kind of stops in the doorway and looks after Rinn, who's probably heading toward the stairs. And then looks at you, Thava, and goes, well, clearly it's going to take more than me. Otherwise, I'd have done it.
I can't speak for the rest of these folks, but I'm certainly interested.
Good. I'll count you in then, when the time comes.
You know where to find me.
Well, just stay alive.
I plan on it.
And he opens the door fully and goes striding out himself to head down the stairs after Rinn. What would you guys like to do now that the day is yours?
What time is it?
It's probably getting on to 11, late morning, noon-ish.
Should we talk about our spellbook Banshee plan with everyone?
That would probably be good because Niah has no idea.
oh yeah, that's what I started the room for earlier.
I know. Gundren waking up again kind of derailed that.
Plastic
Understandably.
So the spell book thing, is there a monetary compensation at the end of this?
I mean, we got. Well, I'm not in the room. I'll let you talk about it.
At this point, we owe Sister Gariel a great debt, so I would imagine we may be doing this without payment.
I see. Gotcha.
She did also initially offer several health potions as payment for doing this thing.
Which would
That would
be
be really helpful.
exceedingly helpful considering
So-
how the last fight went.
So,
Well, I'm about not being in debt, so I'd be down to do it.
Yeah, no, yeah, we owe Sister Gariel a great debt. I mean, without her aid, Gundren would be dead. And I think divesting ourselves of that debt would be a good thing to do now.
Let's get going.
Well, Rinn's going to find a detail for Gundren so that we can leave. So if you want to help with that, great!
Yay!
so
Jrain.
yeah.
Are those adventurers that we rescued still here, or are they gone?
It doesn't take too much looking around to find that they are still loafing about the tavern. Having not left for Neverwinter, as they had said.
So Niah kind of leans into Rinn. They are still here, but they also got taken by the bandits.
Fair point. It's better than nothing.
It is, but also if there's assassins being sent after Gundren's, which, to be fair, maybe they aren't. We did move quickly. Maybe they aren't aware of Gundren's presence yet.
Gundren doesn't seem to be worried, but I think he's a wee bit thick, to be honest.
Yes.
Maybe we can ask
agree.
some of the stronger-looking villagers to grab some pitchforks for a few days.
Truthfully, I think I would trust his safety to these adventurers over farmers.
Oh, I mean both. We
Fair.
could just have an army of villagers.
And how are we
It's
How
going?
are we gonna pay these
Yeah.
adventurers?
They
I-
have no debt to Gundren. Gundren has his funds are currently not here. And while we have certainly made some money off of our recent adventures, we do not have mountains of gold.
Well, we might have enough. Let's just see. We can just
we have a
see.
decent amount of money.
We do.
Yeah, but a couple of us are also trying to, collect some money.
Okay. Niah, you go talk to the adventurers, ask what their rate would be, and I'll go across town and see if there's anyone else willing and able to do such a task.
Fair enough.
All right, Rinn puts her hand in to do like a little like hurrah thing, like a group like, yeah.
Bud enthusiastically joins in.
Yeah, Niah just kind of looks at you, looks at your hand, looks at you again with just an eyebrow raise.
Come on, Niah. Don't leave us hanging. Come on, Niah.
Put her in, Niah.
Niah just looks very conflicted for a moment before reluctantly putting her hand on top of yours.
Go team!
Woo, go team.
That's the spirit.
So enthusiastic.
All right, I would love to just like roll something to see who I can find.
Yeah,
in
sure.
Town. Maybe I could ask Thistle. She's pretty strong. Her and her brother.
Yeah. I
Yes,
mean,
this'll.
I like how your only criteria for security detail for Gundren is are they strong, not can they fight? Are they experienced? Are they trained? No. Are they strong?
Look, all of the above. I'm looking for.
make a.
You forgot the most important part. Are they hot?
Listen,
That's certainly the forefront of Rinn's mind.
we're not on that kind of side quest right now. I need
Playing
you.
Baldur's Gate 3 here.
I need you to keep your head in the game. All right.
Oh my lord. All right. Yeah. Give me like a. Oh boy. Let's see. Let's go with either an insight or a perception check.
Ooh, I'm equally bad at both of those.
Awesome.
Let's go for.
Is anyone helping Rinn first?
Yes, because I'm the enthusiastic one. I will
Yes.
assist.
Okay.
Give advantage.
I'm gonna go for insight because I think it's more of a people skills focused thing.
Sure.
That's an 18.
18. Wow. Okay.
Just trusting the heart of the dice.
Bud holds out his hand for a high five.
Rinn matches that high five with full force.
It kind of hurts just a little bit, bud.
I was gonna say, oh.
So you spend a good few hours cruising about town, and while the town isn't the biggest place, there's plenty of individuals, from dwarven miners to farmers to all sorts of walks. And after a couple hours, you end up running into this group of dwarves with pickaxes on their shoulders, and it looked like a fairly tough bunch. And as you approach, they just kind of go, "Oh, it's this fiery red-haired girl. What can you do for her?"
Oi! Hey, what are you folks doing for the next couple of days? Got any plans?
Generally, just prospecting and mining. What can we do for you?
How has that been going lately?
Very good. This whole area is quite rich with gold and silvers.
Damn it. Okay.
Well, no, but, you know, I'm fine helping. What, a young lass as yourself, what do you need?
Well, I'm looking for some hearty lads or lasses who are willing to help protect a friend of mine for a couple of days when we leave town. He's a dwarf with some enemies, And we
Right.
just don't want something bad to happen to him.
Sure. Well, how much are you paying for such a thing as guard services?
How much are you looking for?
Oh
Oh.
no, Rinn.
How many days?
That I would have to get back to you on,
Right.
but perhaps we could come up with a daily rate.
40 gold a day.
That's a lot. How do you feel about 10 gold per day?
Well, if it's for me and my brother here, I would say 20 gold a day.
15. She stares him down with a hand outstretched to shake.
Make a persuasion check.
Great! Motherfucking 24!
Wow. All right. He grabs your hand with his thick, large, calloused hand in return and gives it a very firm, maybe too firm squeeze. And goes, young lady, you've got yourself a deal. 15 gold a day for the two of us to watch your friend. And that's it. Easy job.
Yeah. I did mention to physically intervene if something were to happen.
Certainly. Of
Yes,
course, yes.
It's kind of the main point.
Guard duty. We'll handle it.
Sounds great. I'll let you know when we head out.
Right.
What's your name?
Oh, I'm Thimbrook, and this here is Pimbrook.
Pimbrook and Pimbrook. Wonderful names. All right. I'll see you soon.
Great. And as you begin to turn away, he just looks at the other dwarf next to him and kind of chuckles, like, shaking his head a little bit. But you seem to have found some able-bodied dwarves to help you in this regard.
Damn, okay.
What a fucking steal.
Niah, what would you like to do?
Yeah, so how many people were at the table, or how many adventurers? It was what, 2, 3 of them?
There were 2 adventurers that you had saved.
Okay. I will grab a cider from Toblin, and I will join them at their table.
And Toblin charges you a silver for your cider.
Okay, a singular silver.
And as you come up, the half-orc is in the middle of telling some boisterous tale about her and her exploits. And as you sit down next to her, she goes, "Oh, and this person right here got me out of quite the bind. How you doing, buddy? Hey, you doing well? You guys have been really running around."
Yeah, you could say that.
Yeah.
I see that you haven't left for Neverwinter yet.
No, we're kind of waiting for a caravan to come through, so we're just kind of, biding time.
Mm-hmm. Well, in the meantime, could I interest you in some work?
If it's not gonna get us killed, yeah, sure. No worries. What do you got?
My employer is currently in need of rest, and while we do not have a reason to believe right now that he has enemies pursuing him, we have some concerns for his security, considering how he just was kidnapped. I was wondering if I could interest both of you in protecting him while I am gone for a few days.
And you see the human male next to her just kind of goes, "Oh, well, we don't really want to." "Oh, no, shut up, no. Yeah, absolutely. What are you, how much you offering?"
What's your rate?
Well, I mean, kind of depends on the severity of the job, Something simple like guarding someone from basically nothing might be 5-10 gold a day. If there's actual danger involved, 15, 20 maybe. Depends on how many days and what's involved. But if you're just trying to prevent him from getting attacked by people in broad daylight in a town, it's probably not too dangerous.
And keep watch over him to make sure no one skulks in the night.
Yeah, 12 gold a day. Yeah, that's what I give you.
12 a day. All right, then I must ask is for that rate, I'll need some assurance as to why you're worth that rate.
Well, and they kind of look at each other, and the human raises a hand and goes,
Well, I'm a spellcaster, and she's pretty good with an axe. So... I know you found us, tied up under a manor, but we are worthy. We're the only two that survived, after all, out of our group of 6, so...
Touche. Round the clock. One of you will always be on hand to make sure he is safe.
Sure, it's not a problem. I can sleep sitting straight up, so it works.
and the half-orc just kind of claps an arm against your back again, a little stronger than she probably should, and goes, yeah, we'll keep your friend safe. No worries, no worries. We got this. No problem.
Out of character, remind me, how far away is Coneyberry?
5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 40. Yeah, about a day's ride on horseback.
Yeah, okay. So day out, day there, day back, most likely. 3 days. Could have. Yeah. All right, you have a deal.
Wonderful.
I'll let you know when we depart and your services begin.
Excellent. We'll be here. And she elbows the human sitting next to her with this big, toothy fanged grin, and then just gives you a thumbs up before going back to her drink.
Mm-hmm. All right, Niah will go rejoin the rest of the party.
Is there anything else anyone would like to do?
I've actually got something.
Sure.
This is more an aside just for himself.
Mhm.
Synas would probably take a moment thinking about the cave and the cryptic warnings and not opening it and everything. Take his deck out, shuffle it a few times, and draw from the top of the deck. Would it come up with another dragon card, or is it a different card this time?
It is the same card you've been getting.
I want to turn on my heel and head back up to Gundren real quick.
Okay. He is still where you left him, laying in bed.
Synas will knock first before just barging in, since he's had enough of that today. And slipping into Dwarvish, he would ask, Gundren, can I speak with you for just a moment? I've got a rather serious question.
Well, yes. What's on your mind?
You know that since you hired me back in Neverwinter,
Yes.
my card readings have been, I want to say, less accurate than normal. And he will, to demonstrate, shuffle the deck again and draw from the top and show the same dragon card again. And then looking Gundren in the eye, he would ask, in your searching for a way of Echo Cave, has there been any talk of dragons or anything draconic in its history?
He sits there and mulls over that and thinks for a little bit.
Because we've seen 2 in the area so far, and I'm starting to think this is not just about those 2.
I suppose that could be the case. But there's nothing in the specific history of it that I've found that was, per se, dragon-focused. There's certainly individuals who have perhaps used it in the past. I'm not sure. The place used to be a forge for creating magic weapons, and certainly, perhaps some of those were probably used for dragon slaying purposes, as you generally need magical weapons for such an endeavor. I would imagine that wasn't outside the realm of possibility. Do you think there's something drawing them there?
Unfortunately, I can't say for sure. This is, fortunately, as much as I love these readings, they can sometimes be a bit vague. The thought crossed my mind that for days straight, I've been getting the same card, and despite having 2 run-ins with dragons now, I'm still receiving it, which means something hasn't been fulfilled.
Well, perhaps we'll find out when we go in there. Or perhaps it's something else in the area.
I have a second question for you.
Sure.
Say there was something draconic, or perhaps just a dragon involved with Way of Echo Cave itself. Would that persuade you to keep the cave closed, or would you still barrel forward?
I would certainly have some trepidations about opening a cave with a dragon in it, sure. Far as I know, that's not the case, but...
I doubt that's the case. It's been, according to Izzy, it's been closed for more time than is reasonable for a dragon. So I doubt it, but again, the thought crossed my mind. Thank you.
Of course. To answer your question, yes, I think that would stop me from opening the cave and trying to use it if there was a dragon of great danger buried somewhere underneath it, but let's hope that's not the case.
That makes 2 of us. Thank you. I'll leave you to your rest. Thank you.
Good luck, Synas.
And he will nod and quietly step out to catch up with the group.
Rinn, as you're out and about on town here, and as you're returning toward the inn, you notice the caravan that you had all passed the other day coming into town. There's 2 carriages that look like they're carrying quite a lot of things, building supplies, potential inventory of some kind. Several individuals driving horses, and as they come in, off drops several people, as well as this blonde-haired individual in bright silver armor, who sort of commands the other individuals about to start disassembling stuff, and puts his hands on his hips and turns about, and as you're sort of crossing the main thoroughfare back toward the inn, you hear a voice call out to you and say, "Well, well, well! Do my eyes deceive me, or is that where I spy upon yon lane Lady Anastasia herself?"
What the fuck?
Oh,
Hey,
shit.
And
What the
I feel like we suddenly need to leave town. I'm not sure why.
And striding up to you, you see who you may recall to be Lord Orina Oceanpetal.
That's right, Ocean Petal. That's right.
Oh no, what the fuck are we about to...
He regards you with a large, toothy grin, his handsome features looking just as perfect as they were at that ball in Neverwinter. And he says...
Oh.
Oh. He says,
It just clicked for me.
what in the world are you doing out here, my lady? Out in this dusty frontier town? What brought you out here, and where's your retinue? Surely you didn't come alone.
Rinn, who was not facing him, quickly turns around. Well, first she cringes, and then she turns around. And she goes, "Oh, Lord Ocean Petal, aren't you a sight for sore eyes?"
It has
Goodness.
been quite some time, my dear. What are you wearing? That is
Oh,
very adventurous.
you would not believe the troubles that have befallen me on the road, Lord Ocean Petal. I have lost my entire entourage and find myself trapped in this godforsaken town for the time being. What brings you here?
Oh, well, I'm so very sorry to hear that. Well, my father's shop has tasked me with starting a new franchise, as it were. Phandalin is an up-and-coming sort of town, and they're going to need handsome garb if they're going to look the part of people who are, shall we say, ruling this part of Faerun. So, my finest fineries will be here, and I'm going to set up a shop right here in this humble town.
Oh, so you're telling me you're here to stay?
Oh, for months at least, until I get everything set up. And then, who knows, maybe I'll enjoy the country life a little bit. It's a bit dirty, but it's not bad, I suppose. And to run into someone like you, yourself out here, what wondrous things fate has done for us, causing us to meet twice in the same year. Your radiance has not left my mind since that night, I will have you know.
Oh, my lord.
And he dips down into a way too deep bow.
My lady.
There are absolutely people staring.
So wait. How close is this to the end?
This is like right in front of the inn. In
we
the
Are we all seeing this?
you might through the windows, or if anyone has
probably
popped
are.
outside, you're definitely able to see it.
Well, I'm
Synas is
gonna
coming to catch up.
elbow Bud and show him to look out this window.
Are you with the rest of us?
What were you saying, Synas?
I was saying Synas was running to catch up with the rest of the group, so yeah, he'll be there too. Sure.
You find your party staring out a window.
So are we all just eavesdropping on this? Oh, please.
Ray, I do need I mean I do remember a lot of details with the ball, but like who is this character again?
This was the guy that was putting the schmooze on Rinn at the party.
Really drunk guy?
He was drunk. He wasn't super drunk, but he was the...
Oh, I'm sorry, I'm thinking of the drunk lady.
Yeah.
That I was. Yeah.
Yes, you're the drunk lady that you were dancing with. No, this was
Yes.
the one that was the one that she was dancing with, in fact, that stole Rinn away to speak with her in private for a while.
Okay. So I didn't really see him too much, did I?
You saw him enough to know that you kind of didn't like him that much, and that he seemed a bit of a piece of work.
Okay.
But beyond that, you didn't really interact with him enough to get too much of a judge on his goals and his character.
Hmm.
Well, in response,
Mm-hmm.
Rid would say, "My lord Ocean Petal," and muster within herself more elegance than anyone here has probably seen her have, because she usually doesn't give a shit, and goes into a very, very delicate curtsy. And she says, "This town would be more than welcome to have a man like you among them."
Oh, you flatter me with your words, Miss Anastasia. Oh, I don't quite remember. Where are you from again? It slipped my mind.
You know, I suffered a hit on the head just a short time ago. There was a dragon attack, and I find that, I'm quite addled, and she goes in for a faint and gives herself some time to remember where it was she said she was from.
Make a deception check. You had told him that you were the Duchess of Rockbury.
Okay, you're just gonna give that to me. All right. Shit. 15?
15's fine. He catches you with a bit of a gasp and goes, you clearly need to sit down. Come sit at the caravan over here. Please, while I have my men begin setting up, you can take a seat. Don't strain yourself, my lady. And he guides you not out of sight of the rest of the party, and it's about this point that you see your entire party looking out of a window at you. As you're led over to this nobleman's caravan, and he sits you on the edge of one of the runners of it.
Bud tries to quickly signal to Rinn if she wants him to come save her or help her.
I don't know how she would communicate in glances that yes, but only if you remember the character that you played the last time we saw this guy. So she's not going to respond.
Okay, I don't. So.
So are you doing the whole, blink at the waiter meme right now?
Yeah,
I blink at the waiter in Morse code.
Yes, yeah. She gestures like a stop, do not pass, go, do not approach.
Oh, do not approach. Okay.
No, because she's not convinced that Bud would remember exactly how to handle this guy.
Have we been overhearing them, Dre?
Oh yeah,
Or just-
this is
Okay.
the windows on the inn are open. There's a wonderful warm, cool fall breeze outside, so it's very audible.
Okay. Yeah, no, Niah is just sitting there on the windowsill, just drinking her cider, enjoying the show.
And as Orina sits you down and sort of looks you over and goes, well, I had heard that there were dragons in the area, but a dragon attack on a small town, that just won't do. I did hear that there were some more guards coming from Waterdeep. They were a day or so behind us, maybe a bit more. That should make the place safer. As I get my shop set up, I'd love to have you come around for dinner or tea, perhaps, so we could talk more.
Oh, it would be my pleasure, indeed. I think I need some time to rest, but I would love to meet you this evening, Lord Oceanpetal.
Certainly, I couldn't say no to that. Go get some rest. I will begin working with my crew here to set up my shop so that we can at least have somewhere, not at an inn to dine at. And he gives you another quick bow and looks at everyone else and goes, all right, double time, everyone. We've got to get this place set up by nightfall. And you see them all begin to basically tear apart everything that's on the caravans and head toward one of the somewhat empty, slightly downtrodden buildings to rapidly begin starting to repair and get things set up for what would become a shop eventually.
Oh, the hilarity we could have had if we stopped the caravan.
Leaving you alone and able to escape as Orina goes off to start directing people to do things.
Now Rinn will call to Bud and just be like, I need help pretending to hobble. Please help me make it across this icky mud village ground without getting my skirt dirty.
He scrambles outside, and puts his arm over her to help her inside.
Real quick, DM, can I be reminded of Bud's name and title from the ball?
I was gonna say, if you want to remind me what Rinn was called too. I was gonna try to say something. I'm like, I don't remember what her name was.
Yeah. You had introduced Bud as... Hold on, now I have to look up my notes. You had introduced Bud, not by name, but as the Baron of Windenheim.
That's right. Okay, I need to write these down. Give me 1 second.
What the fuck is that? What the fuck did I miss?
The Baron of Windenheim?
Was this like a
This was a
pre-campaign?
pre-campaign thing.
I'm just like, what? I'm just mesmerized.
You insane, bud.
The
Y'all have no
audacity
idea.
of you two.
Oh, I
Did
feel
you
like this is
record this
gonna be.
pre-campaign?
What's that?
Did you record this pre-campaign?
No.
God, I wish you did.
It was very
Man.
funny though.
God, I feel like this is gonna end up coming up more than once in this campaign.
Oh, this is gonna be hilarious. Holy shit.
This is the running side gag that will follow us to the ends of the earth.
Yeah, Lady Anastasia.
I can't wait.
So, as Bud approaches, as soon as he comes within grabbing distance, she grabs him by the shirt and pulls his head close and says, "Listen to me. Listen to me, Bud. Your name is the Baron of Windenheim, and I am Anastasia, the Duchess of Rockbury. Whenever this fool is nearby, we're gonna have to put on the act. And he's coming to stay. So we're gonna have to do it a lot."
Oh dear. I don't remember liking him all too much.
Me neither. I hope Thistle doesn't see.
Worry? That's your worry?
That's the thing you're worried about.
Why are you continuing to like keep the fantasy going though?
Gotta keep up the bit.
Yeah.
And you, with Bud, go fake hobbling your way back into the inn and out of sight.
What the hell did you two do before the campaign? What the
Oh, thank you for joining us, your ladyship.
Rinn stares daggers at Niah.
That's the Duchess of Rockberry to you.
Wait, did she just come back into the tavern?
Yes.
Oh my god.
Yeah, Thava's just giving like a stone-faced like stare while she's like holding like a mug of whatever the fuck she's drinking.
Is that the guard that you found for Gundren?
No, I found some miners that will suit that well. Listen,
They didn't look like miners.
that's not them. Listen, I met this fool back in Neverwinter, okay? And I think if we can milk the bit a little bit longer, we might be able to get some information and use out of him. So, if you guys don't mind pretending to be my hirelings, I think it could work out.
If you're going to pretend for us to be your hirelings, can you at least pay us for it?
No, I'm gonna go with no. I'll pay
I
you in information. If we can get it.
You know, I'm with Thava here. I don't think I can do this as a recompense.
Look, it's up to you. But this
you get
guy's...
paid in exposure for being in the presence of the Baron and Duchess.
But I've traveled quite a ways. People die of exposure.
Look, folks, this guy might have some good information. And if
About
you want it,
what?
about what's happening in the kingdom, about who's coming to this town, he's setting up shop. He's setting up shop because he knows that this place is about to be swarmed with people. He has the political ins and outs. He was dancing with the top of the town.
Niah just kind of
He's
leans
wrecking a
forward.
ball.
Oh god. Niah just leans forward. And how are you going to sell this bit of yours?
He's a damn fool. He's dumb as a bag of rocks. All it takes is a little fire and flare, and he's wooing over me. It's quite silly. But,
What are we gonna do, Rinn, if he sees me with you? What are we gonna say?
well, you're the Baron of Windenheim. I'm the Duchess of Rockbury. We fell on some misfortune and got stuck in this town during a dragon attack and had to take on some less than preferable garb to survive, and we'll soon be getting on our way. But for the time being, we could let him wine and dine me a little and see what he has to say. But if it's going to work, you're all looking at your Baron of Windenheim and Duchess of Rockbury. Bows and curtsies would be appreciated.
And what is our role in this?
Hired hands.
Hired hands.
It won't take much from you. Just play the part if he sees us together.
We are to be dressed as hired hands.
Hired adventurers. Whatever. Use your creativity, Niah. I know you've got it in there somewhere.
Niah just gets the most. Her mouth just splits with a very toothy grin.
There it is, see?
What's the consequence if he finds out you're lying?
Oh, off of their heads.
Well, then we just lose our edge. I don't know. Maybe there will be more consequences. But we don't need to think about that now.
I feel like we do.
We're kind of locked in it.
Impersonating royalty is often not seen well by most other royalty. As in heads roll for this.
Niah, I hope you'll forgive me for the question I asked you the other day. I feel like there was something more important I should have been worrying about. Okay, sure.
Look, we're gonna be gone soon on another quest. We don't have to think about it until we get back. Just keep it in the back of your mind.
I will bail you out if needed.
Perfect.
You know,
that's
Niah,
the kind of yes and I was looking for.
Thava just kind of turns Niah. You know, Niah, if you ever need to hold something above her head, this might be it.
Oh, I didn't need anything more, but yes, this will be glorious.
Oh, haha, very ironic.
Synas thinks to himself for a couple seconds and then looks to Bud and asks, "So, I understand her getting wrapped up in this. How did you get wrapped up in this?"
Well, Gundren had gotten an invite to this ball. Well, he couldn't go because he was gone. So we went instead.
Right. Okay.
Fancy food and dancing, weird fancy people. It was so entertaining. I got to do a lot of dancing too.
It's actually quite good at it, gotta say. Little guy's got some moves.
Of all the weirdness,
I didn't max out in acrobatics for nothing.
Of all the weirdness of this, Bud being good at dancing actually feels like it checks out.
Y'all ain't ever seen a hoedown like I can throw.
What? I can't.
It's gonna be on the list of quotes.
As you guys
summarizes it.
As you guys are cajoling Rinn with all of this and going back and forth, the sound of hoofbeats rushing from the north into town, sounding like a singular horse, approaches rapidly, and there is a couple yells of individuals outside as you see him blast past, or this individual on horseback blast past the caravan that is still disassembling outside, and you see an individual tumble off of the horse, falling into the dirt, scrambling back up, looking panicked and yelling out as he runs straight towards the door of the inn, the horse kind of trotting its way around the square without its rider before coming to a standstill. And all of you hear through the open windows, and especially as this young human covered in dirt and several cuts barges it and yells, Butterskull Ranch just got attacked! Please! Help!
What just got attacked?
Oh shit. Reyka looks over at Bud.
Bud doesn't say anything. Like, you can just tell he kind of goes pale.
And
And he goes up to the. Oh.
And that's where we're gonna end
wait,
for
wait, hold on,
tonight.
wait,
after
wait.
you respond.
No!
Yes.
After you respond.
Yeah, he like goes up to the kid and like puts his hands on the sides of his shoulder and says, "What happened?"
And from blood loss or exhaustion, the young man just grabs onto you and says, "Orcs, so many orcs," and then collapses in against you.
That's where they went.
And that is where we will leave off for
Oh no,
tonight.
cliffhanger!
So, thank you guys for hanging out and playing. There was a lot there.
There was a lot. Yeah, that was.
And
Cool.
we will see where that all leads to next time, whenever that is, with Dorks in Danger.
Dorks in danger!
That's right.
Butterskull Ranch was in danger.